Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of Collecting Justified. And I have a feeling this is going to be David and Kenny's favorite episode ever. And Compulsive Collector, if you're here live or on the replay, 'cause I know you're watching, John. I know it's going to be your favorite episode too, my friend. We have an awesome special guest, Snook. I was on his channel, was it like 3-4 weeks ago? Something like that. But his YouTube channel mainly around anime stuff, and I like anime stuff. I still consider my taste pretty basic based on what I grew up with and everything, but nobody else on this stream cares. So I finally have someone I can talk anime with. We'll still go over pickups and all that stuff, and it's just going to be a lighthearted stream. I just want to introduce Snook to our audience a little bit. And like I said, just take the opportunity to talk some anime. David, are you excited?
Words can't describe how excited I am.
Awesome. Kenny, you excited?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said weed shit.
Oh.
Oh man.
That would be
nope. Sorry, Kenny. Sorry. Yeah. I do see, I saw on your YouTube channel, my friend, you've been doing some updates on that background behind you. It's looking nice.
I have. You see, there are lights, no sounds, but yeah, I've been rearranging some things, bought some new shelves, which is super convenient, you know, when you're in a boot, but I'm making it work.
Stop leaping from tractor trailers, my friend. Stop leaping from those tractor trailers. Still in that.
At least you have one boot, Kenny. Gene has none.
That's true. I have more boots than Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be a bootless pickup segment, huh, David? Bootless pickup segment?
When I mean, Rich has a bootless pickup segment.
Rich always gets them first. But guys, let's get into this housekeeping real quick. So again, welcome to Collecting Justified, your favorite weekly Saturday night live stream talking about toys and justifying our collection and all these terrible financial decisions we make. But, you know, you got to spend your money on something, and the dollar's not going to be worth the crap anyway. So might as well buy stuff, you know, buy cool stuff. But we're here every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time-ish. Make sure you're here live. Try to be here live. But if you're on the replay, hello. Try to be here live next time. It's fun. Make fun of me in the chat for weeb shit, you know. So Andrew is not here with us, but the free Andrew from the Basement Fund is open. Make sure you drop those super chats. Get Andrew out of the basement. You know, when I talked about how today was going to be about anime, he made one backhanded comment and bam, basement. Sorry, Andrew. Alexi is not here today because if you remember, Alexi actually went to Vegas to meet up with Super Turk, aka Tanner. And I heard they got into some trouble. They owe some drug lords some money. So I don't know what basement Alexi's in, but hopefully he'll be back with us soon. So speaking of, you know, back with us soon, maybe we'll have some more Justified members back with us soon, guys. Maybe. The list is forever growing. And I know Kenny loves reading it out every week.
You know, the bigger, the better. That's what I always say.
You too can become a member of the Justified. Down in the description down below, there's a link you can click. Become a member of the Justified. It's a 2-tier system. And yes, whichever tier you're in, you know, that represents how much we love you. I'm going to be honest. So going forward from that, be Justified members. We do thank our Justified members at the beginning and end of each live stream. I'm going to give you the short and sweet at the beginning, and we'll see what happens at the end. I don't know. If you're a longtime viewer, you know how the past 2 weeks have gone. No spoilers if you haven't seen that. But yeah, we might hit 3 weeks in a row here, Kenny. Okay, so first of all, the Justified MVPs, the MVPs of the channel, the biggest supporters, the guys that, you know, keep this stream up and running. Z-Man 12-Bat, aka Agent Z-Man, aka the very first Justified channel member. Legion X, Rick, the illustrator of these fine Cuppy illustrations you see on the channel. Compulsive Collector, John, who will absolutely love this episode. He's probably going to watch it at least 10 times. My best friend, John Morrissey, as well. Kenny, I'm catching the replay on those Thursday night live streams. Friday nights? I don't know. I'm catching the on your live stream.
Whenever
some lies. You're telling some lies. What it is he doesn't want me there to dispute the facts, so he keeps changing it up on me. That's why I'm not sure what day it's on.
That's right. Keep you guessing.
Yeah, it's David Evan Smith right here at the bottom, right there. Not used to being all the way at the bottom, David, but he's there. Michael Davis, St. James, the patron saint of collecting himself. We're gonna have to have St. James back on here at some point, David. Right? We have to have St. James back on at some point. In counterculture, Kenny, right there, Mr. Walking Boot, Mr. Fast and Furious, Mr. Give Me All the Joker figures, Toddy Mac, right there.
That's right. I've got some eBay listings. $899, pretty fair deal if you're looking for a Joker.
Nice. I'll have to pull that picture up, Kenny. I think you sent that screenshot to the group chat, right?
I did. Yeah.
Pull that up. And next, Kenny, I think you called them the lesser. Right,
we've been over this. By lesser, I mean more devoted. My favorite group. These are my favorite group, actually. I like the Justified better than the MVPs.
Wow, that's how you feel? All right, cool.
I mean, I'm part of the MVPs. What does that say about me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Self-loathing.
Yeah.
So let's read off.
I bring that group down, honestly.
Yeah. We have Dan who reviews, Christopher Allen, everyone's favorite, Displayed Once, aka Rich M, Kurt K, everyone's favorite grandpa in collecting, right, Kurt? It's past your bedtime, Kurt. I saw you in the chat earlier. Cole's Cave, ya boys got toys, aka the Pablo Escobar's newest prisoner. Bring toys to work, Jesse Hubbard, Super Turk 5000, Jared Byrne. I got it, Jared. STM Figures, Mikey Moonboots, not Miley Moonboots. Miley Moonboots isn't a channel member anymore. Now it's, they kept it in the family though. It's Mikey. It's Mikey now. Jay's Toy Collection UK, Chi Chi Collect, Shane Shooter, Collecting Rush, Burgos, LG, Art G, and the Blackter, aka our friend Lorenz. Be completely transparent. I hope I haven't missed any new channel members because I forgot to update this list this week, guys. But don't tell anybody, okay? Don't tell anybody. But yeah. Imagine me messing up, right? But guys, so Kurt said, headed to bed now. So let's take that opportunity to say hi to the people in the chat. I know it's a weeb shit episode, guys, so it might be a little light. But David was here bright and early. Hello, David. How are you?
Great. Just spiffy. Thanks.
I ask you every 5 minutes.
You wanted to follow up the wrestling competition stream from last week that had a light chat with anime stream, which might also be a light chat.
Yeah, it's quality over quantity, David.
I think you're trying to find like new low-rated streams that will bump the view count up for
the trivia episode.
Yeah,
yes, that makes sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you find new low-rated streams, then trivia episodes like now bottom 6 instead of bottom 3.
At this rate, it'll be top 10
soon.
It, Kenny. You know it. Michael Davis is here. Hello, gentlemen. You have one person. See, David, we have one person. Joe O'Neill is here. Filthy Frank does a great takedown of weep shit. Thank you. Thank you, Joe O'Neill. Kurt K, like I said, was here. Kenny was here. Legion X dropping the cuppy emoji. Howdy, Legion X. Makata? Am I saying it right? Makata? Hello there, Makata. Our great friend, Dan, who I'm late. Yeah, I know, Dan. I'm late. He said, also, the poll is a trick. Don't fool. No. Everybody vote in the poll, okay? Vote in the poll. Our friend JP TM is here. And let's see here. Christopher Allen is here as well. So, going to be a quiz on naming characters. Maybe Christopher Allen. I'd probably get most of those wrong too. My best friend, John Morrissey, is in the chat as well. A whole show of deep shit. This might be a good time to go watch grass grow. I guess this was a Kenny's idea. It was, John Morrissey. It was.
Here's how it goes. If this has over 300 views, it was Justin's idea. If it has less than 200, it was my idea, right? I think that's how he's going to play it.
He's catching on. How many episodes has Kenny been on now, David?
19. Today is 20. This is his 20th episode anniversary. Yay, Kenny!
Woo! On the 20th episode, he finally gets it, guys. He finally gets how it works. Chi Chi Collects is here. Mushi Mushi. Hey, hello, Chi Chi. Thank you for being here. Pock Photos is here as well. What's up, Pock Photos? Pock Photos, I saw your review on the Elvis Stitch, and it broke my heart because I really want that Stitch. I've got the Revoltech and the Super 7, so I want the NECA one to go along with it, and I almost didn't order it, but I might have. I was going to
ask if you're looking for it. My Target has like 5 of them, and they've been there for 3 weeks. So
I had a coupon on my circle and with the red card, so I just finally got it. I just ended up getting it. If I hate it, I hate it. Whatever. Not gonna lie, I thought I like Lilo and Stitch is cool and all, fine. I actually worked at I know we're derailing for a moment, but I worked at a movie theater when Lilo and Stitch came out, so I kind of have a deep fondness for it, right? But I love Elvis, so I was kind of on the fence about it. I didn't buy it, but that's it. Were you working?
That's what I got to say about
theater when this movie came out, Kenny? When this movie came out? Kubo?
What is it? No, I don't. When did that come out?
Oh my god, you guys are killing me. Anyway, Cardback is here. David's favorite anime. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Read it.
No.
Yeah.
We got our special guest.
Fandinsky, Waspu Girl Force. Wasp.
Brian Merchant is here as well. I have no interest in anime shit. Maybe next time. Oh, Brian Merchant, come back. Come back, my friend. Come back.
You're losing them.
Pac said, don't blame you. Stitch looks nice. Yeah, he does look nice. He's going to look fine. As long as I don't touch him, he won't fall apart, right? All right,
Oh,
there we
okay.
go. Guys, let's get our wonderful special guest in here today. And everybody behave, okay? Okay, you make fun of me for weeb shit, all right? But no. So, blah, 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 blah.
Well said.
Get my bearings. There we go. Okay, it's been a long
Well
day. David, I sent some pictures to the chat earlier, me being outside in the hot sun with the kids today, and my brain is fried along with my body.
Yeah,
But
that'll happen.
yeah, so let's get our special guest here, Snook Collects. Snook, what's going on, man?
Hey,
What's going on? I feel like you just brought me into a hostile environment.
Not really. It's
Like,
it's
hey,
pretty
we're gonna
split,
talk about
honestly.
anime. You want to come on? I was like, sure, I love anime. And then I just see nothing but like, this sucks. I'll pass. I'm not being here.
listen, we're
Is
always
this-
this hostile. It's not just for anime.
No,
We're
no,
always
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's pretty much how they are every week.
I just
oh,
didn't-
this sucks. I'm leaving. So yeah.
I just didn't know if it's because I quizzed you on Marvel stuff, and it's not my fault. Chad obliterated you. I mean, now it's just
Oh,
like the
man.
payback.
Yeah.
It was by what, 2, right? I don't even
I think
count
it was
one
like
of
4.
those.
I don't know.
Who's keeping count,
They had
right?
the
It's
internet
not like it
anyway,
was a-
right? The cheaters.
Yeah, it's not like it was a quiz or anything. Yeah,
No.
they had Google. They had the Google.
Well, they were incredibly fast.
Yeah.
So
I
wait,
don't
so
know.
Justin, you failed at trivia on another channel?
Listen.
Trivia just might
Listen,
not be.
Listen, I'm going to take this opportunity to go plug the trivia episode. Everybody, go back and watch the trivia episode on this channel.
Do you have the?
Oh
meme
no,
that
I didn't get them
David
uploaded.
created? Oh,
Hold on. While David's going about like all his pickups and talking about it for 30 minutes, I'll upload his memes onto here so I can present them. So, guys, so Snook. At the beginning, we love to show our pickups. It's very original. No other live stream does it. It's the first I've ever seen it happen. But, you got to take risks, right?
You guys can afford to buy stuff?
Barely. Buy is if you missed last week's episode, just go back and look at the thumbnail. Buy stuff is a loose term.
allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly. Let's just say every now and then there's a tractor trailer of McFarlane toys that might go up missing. So who knows? But Snook, my friend, as the wonderful esteemed guest, do you have any recent pickups that you would like to show off? This is your first time on the channel, so it can be pickups from last year. Who's going to call you out on?
I mean, yeah, I've picked up stuff recently. Actually got quite a few that I picked up. So just came in. I mean, this is going to be put me out front and center with anime weeb shit, but I actually just got Shikamaru and the Gum Gum set for Luffy. Got these from Kappa Hobby. Great deal. And if anybody's asking, like, I don't know how involved in the community some of your members are, but yes, the Shikamaru does have the really bad printed face. I'll actually pull it out real quick so you guys see it. He definitely has had some issues here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Does not look great. He might have looked like he did a little bit of gardening, if you know what I'm saying. I've picked up, I got the new East Blue Zoro, which is really great. Nice. Anybody that knows the original Zoro from Raid on Onigashima or the Wano arc, that figure fell apart and broke in half. This one did not. This is actually a pretty well-made figure when it comes to the One Piece line. I am a TMNT fan as well, so it's not just anime stuff.
I was going to say, does that count? No, but
what?
It does not.
As weeb shit? No, it's cartoons.
Go ahead.
I got the Shredder from the NECA Holothon from Target. It's the only one I'm going to pick up because I didn't own a Shredder. I had all the turtles and all that kind of stuff. Never had a Shredder. And then, which first Spider-Man Moff-X I picked up? The Ben Reilly Spider-Man.
Okay.
Not impressed, honestly.
No.
This figure, my Daredevil that I have, holding that one, it actually was really well done. Holding this one feels like a Figma. Very cheap, very hard to move. I'm pretty sure his neck peg is already bent. Just changing his head once. Not too bent out of shape out of it. I've only got it for $50. If I would have paid $100, I would have been pretty peeved.
For sure.
I'm an older gentleman. You guys can't tell because I've cut the beard, but I do have gray in my beard. So I'm a 90s Spider-Man fan. So I got the chameleon from Big Bad. Had to grab that one.
If you pissed off Dan Who in the UK by having a
You
Hall
brought
of
him back.
TMNT figure, you brought him back with the chameleon
Oh,
retro carded
Oh,
figure.
no, Dan has a shredder, by the way.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did send him a shredder. Right? It's covered.
Yeah. Dan says he saved it.
But for this one, I don't open them. I usually don't open blister boxes because second you take this off, it's going to destroy it. So I do collect this series, but it's in box, which is kind of unfortunate.
You don't get two, so you could open one?
No.
No? You ain't balling? You ain't balling like that?
No, I don't want that. Plus, I mean, the articulation is not good enough to do any like a crazy poses other than him standing there. So I don't. It's just more of an aesthetic to appease my childhood.
That's all Dan needs it to do.
Yeah, just stand there.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I would say is the last couple of weeks I've been in touch with a guy that I met on Instagram through the channel and picked up a lot of OG Dragon Ball figures. Whoa.
Ooh.
So I got really good deal on them. Second owner in really good condition. So I was able to get them from a guy from Instagram. So shout out to Z. But that's pretty much, I mean, it that I can think of outside of manga releases and comic books every week.
Nice. AliExpress keeps tempting me with a knockoff Master Roshi that they have on there. I know it's probably crap, but honestly, all I would need was like a Master Roshi to like sit in the back of the Dragon Ball Z display. Well, so it might work.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
so I think
in this one you look at it. I mean, it's branded, OG Dragon Ball, but Master Roshi doesn't change. So this one definitely could work for Z. He's normally 200 right now. I got a really good deal at $80. So I think he was 65 or 70 when he first released, and I figured $10-15 over market when he first released was a really good deal. He's still got more in his collections than Z. I'm coming for those. But gotta taper it down. Gotta put a budget on this thing. I also got new stuff coming out, and I got Shanks on the way from One Piece as well.
SH Figure Arts adds up quick.
Yes,
especially with their base prices are just skyrocketing now. Anyway, freaking what was it? Nail, almost $100 for a Nail figure. That's
95 and some change is how much it's cost me to get him.
Oh, God,
so
I couldn't do it.
$80 base price, $10 shipping plus whatever tax state you live in, and mine was about 95. So
yes, there we go.
I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, though. That's what I grew up on. I had to pick it up. Like Dragon Ball Z is what started this whole thing for me. Getting in the 90s, coming home, hoping you didn't try to record on the same TV and VHS that my mom was recording soap operas on. So make sure you had two different TVs recording. We'd come home and we'd watch an episode of Dragon Ball Z. So that's what it started it all.
Nice. Getting some love in the chat. Chi Collect says, awesome haul. Great mix of different lines. And Dan says, with that price, that's like 4 different standing chameleons you could have in your display.
That's true. That's true. I only need one, though. I only need one standing chameleon.
All right. So let's see here. Kenny, do you have any pickups this week?
I have so many pickups this week. It's going to take a long time to get through these. Since I'm super mobile these last couple weeks, I've really been getting out on the hunt and finding things and, just hitting the town. And it's been so fruitful. Yeah. So
the sarcasm.
The last couple of days, so Silver Age Superman has been hitting the shelves, right? And Kingdom Come Superman has been hitting the shelves. Apparently, these are the pictures I'm seeing. I was not able to locate any of those. I did finally make it out of the house though, and hobbled my way into a GameStop to find this. I did find Carl. All right,
hey,
for the last few weeks.
Finally,
I've been saying,
Ooh.
Initially, I did not get Lenny because Carl wasn't there, and then when Carl was there, Lenny wasn't. And last week I found Lenny, and this week I have reunited Lenny and Carl, who will now join Barney at Moe's Tavern. So things are
Nice.
looking up, things are looking up. That's it for my pickups, but I did get the shelves, right? You saw the video, the behind the scenes thing. So I replaced a whole area of my display, put up some new shelves. So that was another big pickup, right? If we're counting things, but so it's been shelves and Carl this week.
Shelves and Carl.
Shelves and Carl. And that.
I'm still looking for Lenny, and I need all of Wave. What's Carl from? Is it Wave 4? Wave 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
The newest,
I need all of Wave 4. Yeah. Except Blue Shirt Bart. I don't care about Blue Shirt Bart.
What? No, I'm joking. That makes sense. I get it.
What kind of loser would be picking up Blue Shirt Bart?
Whoa.
And completely unrelated. That's a nice segue over to David. What have you picked up recently?
Well, I did pick up a Blue Shirt Bart, but you know that already, jerk face.
I didn't know that, David. I'm sorry.
But I do want to highlight that Cardback's comment in the chat was a fourth white person has entered the chat when we brought in Snook, but Carl counts as
there we go.
The chat.
So see,
let's hear it for Carl.
I'm trying to diversify the group here,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Thank you, Kenny, for that. I appreciate you.
Lorenz did ask, is weeb a white person term, Justin?
And Kurt K replied,
why does it keep doing? Look, StreamYard's on their shit again, Kenny.
I'm just here. Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, whenever I highlight a comment, it switches back to Kenny. Flipuma's here too. See, bam, right there. Flipuma wants to say yo yo yo.
Hey guys, here's Flipuma. Yo yo yo. Also, shout out Flipuma. He was in my stream the other day, so thank you.
Woo! Kurt K said that according to him, he believes it's a white Southern term for
weeb.
Weeb. So yeah.
Then it will be pronounced weeb.
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 Weeb. Weeb. Weeb.
Weeb. So if we're done focusing on Kenny on the screen, I want to follow up with you, Justin, about a thing from last week. So you asked about Scooby-Doo versus Batman.
Yeah.
And I do have that DVD right here at the ready. And the new Super Friends Batman would match.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's like the right blue and details and everything. So
yeah,
that answers the question. Now we know.
That Super Friends line is 6-inch scale, right?
It is
not 5. Okay.
So it should pair very well with the upcoming Jada Toys Scooby-Doo line. So exciting.
And where are those hitting? You said you found yours at GameStop, right?
The Super Friends line?
Or Target.
You found yours at Target. I found the wave I bought at my comic book store, but then I saw it at Target, which was surprising because I thought they didn't do McFarlane Retro anymore. So they are hitting Targets, but I've only seen them at one Target out of the 3 that I normally go to. So dig around. What I was fortunate enough to find is Phantasm. So
Bruce Wayne has legs.
Justin,
now.
Super excited, right? Aren't you happy for me?
I'm so jealous. I'm actually honestly not happy at all, David. And you getting these before me is the whole reason we're doing this episode. So
you're bitter.
I'm your punishment.
Your punishment. Yeah. You see how it goes.
Devil incarnate.
You see what you've walked into? It's not like
I was coerced.
Right.
Come on. Hey, don't be great. Everybody will love it. Bring me on. I just get bashed.
Yeah, the great thing, Snook, is this is as friendly as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We just come and roast each other for 2 or 3 hours.
Well, at least I know I'll sleep well because I'll cry myself to sleep.
It's how it goes. Yeah.
But yeah, Bruce Wayne is legged now.
Legs.
What branding is that?
What's that?
Who makes it? Those figures?
Oh, McFarlane. Well, DC Direct made them, but McFarlane is re-releasing them cel-shaded.
Okay.
And the Build-A-Figures, like Bruce Wayne here, are original to McFarlane.
Sweet.
So, McFarlane. Sticking with McFarlane, I picked up today the Hourman figure from DC Multiverse. So I'm really torn about this figure. Like, I feel like he'll be impactful on the shelf because of the color and the sculpt, but the cape is just weird to me. Like, from here to here, it seems really short. You know, like it's not realistically sculpted.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
As
I was actually going to say it looks kind of cool as a plastic cape with the design, but now I see what you're saying. It absolutely does look short on that side.
Like,
so
how
look,
long
I was
is it
here and now I'm here.
How long is it from here to here?
Yeah. And then like that side
how long
is
it from here to here? Like, what the hell is that?
You got to work with what you got, man. You ran out of material.
Exactly. You know, he only bought 2 yards worth or whatever you do at Joann Fabrics. Not anymore.
Use 1 yard here.
They're going out of business, but you know.
Yeah. He just happens to glide to the left.
Right. Yeah. Is listing to the left. And
so that's Hourman?
Yeah.
Hourman? So he can only fight crime.
He's got 1 hour, man.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure what I thought he had, like some kind of time control powers, but I read the back of the trading card that's packed with the figure, and it says he invented a serum that gave him superpowers, but the powers only last for 1 hour. So if he's fighting battles like for longer than an hour, he will lose those powers until he drinks another serum. And he couldn't make a form of the serum that was not addictive. So he became addicted to his own serum that he invented. So doesn't sound too kosher, you know? Like, I don't know.
It's better than being Minuteman.
That's true. That
would
about
an hour.
That would not be effective. Yeah.
But I'm concerned about his stamina.
Rick does say it curves slightly to the left there, David.
Well, that's good to know, Rick. I'm glad you warned me. You know.
I'm back.
So this week also I was happy to find.
It just wants you to read the stream there, Kenny. It wants you to read all the chats.
All chat is sponsored by Kenny.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. What do we got? All right. I'll do that.
Here we go.
All right. They make a blue pill for that now.
To last longer than an hour. Yeah. See?
Wise words.
It's about time. This week I was also excited to find series 2 of the Fraggle Rock figures.
What?
So
I have not seen any of these.
You haven't?
I mean, like, I've seen your pictures. I just not in person. I have not seen any.
Oh yeah. So I'll show you, because I never unboxed Wave 1. But when I found 2 of the Wave 2 figures, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just unbox them all. So this is Gobo.
Nice.
From Fraggle Rock. And this really kind of looks and articulates and scales like the Sesame Street figures that are coming out from right now. So nice Jim Henson family going on.
Who's making these?
These are from Boss Fight Studios.
Boss Fight Studios. Okay, that's cool.
And Red is the female. This is still from Wave 1. There's a guy, Uncle Traveling Matt, but the minute I took him out of the box, one arm snapped off. So I need to see if I can get a replacement. This is Boober. You heard me right.
Yeah, Boober. I remember that dude.
So
I have no idea what we're into right now.
You don't know about Fraggle Rock? Come on.
Down on Fraggle Rock.
You have gray in your beard when you don't shave your beard, so you should know Fraggle Rock. This is Jim Henson's show. Was on in the 80s. Puppets. They like live in some cave.
I remember the Muppets and stuff, but I don't remember the Fraggle Rock.
There was like a dog, and the guy was in, and then they went down. There he is.
This dog, Sprocket. So this thing's huge. I mean, compared.
The dog's supposed to be that big? Is that Clifford?
Well, I think that this is like, it's a puppet, but I think it's represented to be like a human person dog.
Oh,
that
in
is
the
like
show,
the Fraggle Rock
creatures. Kicks ass.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Kurt K. Yeah. So seeing Sprocket in this big box, I had to buy this immediately. So super awesome.
What's the price point on this?
What's that?
What's the price point on this?
They are typically $44.99. But the dog being bigger, he was $49.99. But
Okay, that's not a bad increase for
Muppets?
such a bigger figure.
exactly. But
The
for
Muppets
this,
were around before Fraggle Rock. LOL. Okay.
thank you, Northern Nomad.
No, he shouts before there.
Oh,
Kenny,
sorry.
You have to shout before.
The Muppets were around before Fraggle Rock. LOL.
And you have to shout LOL as well.
But were they as I'm guessing they weren't the popularity level of the Muppets then, though, I'm assuming.
No, but
I feel like
they did bring the series back. So there's like a Back to the Rock
Okay.
series in the recent, I want to say 2022, 2023. And I think it got 2 seasons when it came back. So
Interesting.
This was a fun show in like the late 80s, early 90s. I'm surprised. I loved this show as a kid because
they had
it
a very
starts
catchy
out
theme song.
Yeah, like I was down on Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. Sing the whole theme song for us, Kenny.
I don't want to copyright us, you know.
Right.
Don't get us in trouble now.
I get it.
Plus, whenever if I ever catch an episode, it just won't sound the same, and I won't be able to do it.
Exactly.
See, you don't
have to be like, "Hey,
that.
Kenny, the show's on. Can you sing the intro for me?"
I'm just trying to save you all. Rowdy Riles in the house. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, so it's a fun show. Just check it out.
Okay.
You know,
definitely check it out. It's hilarious. And then last, I picked up at Five Below some new teeny tinies. So there's a retro diner one.
Nice.
And a picnic party one. So there's a little mini table and a picnic basket.
Those sets
these are five. You said Five Below, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love them.
Great sets. I still have so many of those that I haven't even opened yet, David. I haven't had a chance.
For photography and like I'm thinking the picnic party thing. I automatically go to like Jim Lee X-Men, like Rogan Gambit.
Oh yeah.
You know, in Rogan, her like Daisy Dukes and the little tied up shirt. You know, like running around with a baguette. You know.
Perfect.
So check them out. Brand new.
Rowdy Riles also
$5.
I love those things.
Cool.
Says Rowdy Riles.
If anybody is just now tuning in, for some reason, StreamYard every time I highlight a chat or unhighlight it, it goes right back to Kenny, and I don't know why.
I'll be your chat reader for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. So
it did something like this, like 4 weeks ago, and then the past 3 weeks it's been fine, and now it's doing it again.
And now we're back on that shit.
Back on that shit. David, anything else, my friend?
No, that covers it this week. I'm waiting on a CMD store order. That's cmdstore.com. Of the Bully Maguire Toby Spider-Man 3 figure and what else? Silver Age Two-Face from DC Multiverse and Gamerverse Black Cat, because I'm gonna snatch her wig and make a Ponytail Storm, because Ponytail Storm will always meet you at the monorail. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Those will soon be tariffed at $55, according to Rick.
Oh, the
all of them.
Rock?
Everything.
All of it. All of it.
Well, if it's 55 and it's the $5 teeny tiny, probably...
Snook.
What up, Mars? That's my boy. What's going on, buddy?
Just gonna keep bouncing back and forth. We have Super Turk 5000.
Hello, #Justified Gang. Hope you're all doing good. I think we are.
Yeah. So
that's Super Turk, who is apparently holding. Oh no, not holding. Turk, I thought you and Alexi were kidnapped by some drug kingpin in Vegas or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess Turk got out.
Yeah, he got
left Alexi holding the bag.
Well, you know, with currently what's going on, anybody who isn't a full-on citizen, or if you aren't, whatever, you're just getting shipped off to wherever anyway. So they just kicked Turk out, and and Alexi is in a basement somewhere that is not my basement.
Apparently, it's
Andrew's in my basement. Alexi is not. So, but thank you, Tanner, for 3 months of Justified membership. And card back. I'm leaving until the actual meat of the stream happens. Someone taking 90 minutes to read a 20-minute
Facts.
Don't worry, card back. It will happen.
Yeah,
It will
card
happen.
back is
Just
spitting
tune
facts.
in around hour 2:45, I guess. I don't know. Somewhere around.
All right. I guess I do have a couple quick pickups, I guess. Do I have anything? Worth going over? Oh, our friends over at Cartoon Dumpster Dive, Andrew, was on what episode was it, Andrew? I mean David, that both Andrews were on. It was
episode 8 was Cartoon
episode
Dumpster Dive.
8. See, David keeps everything, but he sent me new stickers out. Let me see. Damn it, Kenny. I'm blaming everything on Kenny. This webcam. Kenny told me to get it.
I don't even work here.
Okay. These stickers, it says peaked in the 90s. And it's a fat shark dude sitting on a couch watching TV.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Those are great stickers. Great stickers. So besides that, what did I pick up this week? So last week WrestleMania impacted our viewership a little bit, but I do collect a little bit of wrestling, guys. So just my like mind's eye of like some of my favorite wrestlers and stuff. I did get a Randy Orton. So
him and John at Backlash on the 30th.
Yep. So I wasn't gonna get this because I tried to only get the Ultimate.
10th. I'm sorry. It was the 10th.
The 10th. Okay.
10th of May. Yep.
I usually only get the Ultimates and like my mind's eye of like the characters, but this is an Elite, and I haven't seen a good Ultimate Orton that I really like, and those get really expensive on the aftermarket anyway.
Right.
And the Elites are at a very friendly price point, and this face
they're like 40, right?
This was 22, but yeah, the Ultimates are like 35, and then like, in the aftermarket,
yeah, because they have all the accessories and stuff.
Yeah, but that's a really good likeness, and I like to backtrack every now and then and get some like random cheap stuff off Macari from like my childhood. I'll have like credits from selling stuff and everything. And I got these guys. These are like kind of G.I. Joe type things, but they're not G.I. Joes. These are like Lanyard Corps or whatever. They're like knockoffs, I guess. Yeah.
Lanyard Corps.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Just I don't know. Man. There's a lot of them online. But I had these growing up and they were mixed in with my G.I. Joes, and I never knew that they weren't G.I. Joes. And it took me forever to actually find them online or anything. And these were some of my favorite little toys because they look cool. They were different mixed in with the G.I. Joes. So, and these are in pretty good condition. And they're like what do they, help me out, guys? What do they call the technology that the old Joes are held together with? That rubber band?
O-ring?
It's O-ring. Yeah, these are like O-rings too. And so those and this you would have seen if you're a channel member and you saw the exclusive weekly Wednesday wrap up, right, David? The alliteration.
The weekly Wednesday wind up weed shit wrap up. Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
All the W's.
Look at this awesome tank right here. So it's just a cool tank, right? No, this is a Micro Machines like base that like unfolds, and you have all these like weapons and ramps, and it came with all the guns and everything. And I had this growing up, and it even came with some of the little Micro Machine army men.
Could you store like a cheese sandwich in there?
You'd probably have to fold it. That's you could do a half C1. You do a half C1. You might, get your mom to cut the crust off,
Like
or
I
get
tell
two of the tanks and then put a half in each.
Hey, like I always say, I don't fold it in half for nobody.
What?
And I guess two more things. I'm disappointed that Andrew's not here, and Snook, you might be disappointed in me based on the conversation we had in DMs the other day.
Okay.
So I went by GameStop, and we all know I don't collect a whole lot of Star Wars. I try to just it's a very small cube, right?
Okay.
But with the new Han and Chewie announced, I was like, dang, I've already got C-3PO and R2-D2. I've got GameStop gift cards. Let me go by there and see if they still have the Luke and Leia. And I'm okay because I didn't pay for them. They were through gift cards. So And the likenesses are good, and they're going to go in the back
Yeah.
of the channel and represent the first trilogy back there. Even though, and Snook, like I said this in our DMs,
Yep.
I feel like Luke's overrated. He's overrated. I'm just saying.
Funny you bring those up. Remember last week we were looking at Han and Chewie, and I was contemplating whether I want to go down that road and add a little Star Wars display. I saw the Luke and Leia at GameStop as well, and I asked Caroline, I was like, do I do this? Do I buy these? And she said no. So I think based on the conversation last week, I said I wasn't going to go down that road, and that cemented it. So yeah, I don't know. I might still get Han and Chewie, but it opens too many doors, man. Yep. Too many doors.
You have the better George Lucas franchise behind you anyway.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So let's see here. Rowdy Riles in the chat says she got rid of all her wrestling stuff, but picked up Rhea Ripley recently. Yeah.
The Eradicator.
It's easy to get, like, you can get wrestling something where you can get rid of it, but then a new figure comes out of like one of your favorite wrestlers and you pick that up and then you're kind of right back in it. And the next thing you know is like, oh, I'll just get the newer stuff. But as long as they're still signed in with the company, you always can get a better figure down the road. The part that hurts is like the wrestlers that aren't with the company anymore. Like, I really want an updated Chris Jericho. I really would love like an updated Jeff Hardy. You know, just some of the guys that aren't with the company anymore. Yeah, so
Jeff and Matt are with TNA though. So, and there's that, they might have a comeback. They talked about retiring in the WWE. So, and they're with TNA, and TNA has a contract with WWE. So, like Joe Henry, their TNA champion, showed up at Mania.
Yeah. So the Hardys will probably happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Jericho, until he retires and maybe gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, they might get him on like a, what do they call it? Like a Legends contract where they can do figures. Yeah. Joe O'Neill, I didn't say Star Wars as a whole is overrated. I said Luke is overrated as a character. I just listen. Okay.
Joe, just go back to the Star Wars episode. That'll probably tell you everything you need to know. All right.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun one. We're not going to get all the way in the Star Wars thing. I just say, I don't know, man. I grew up in the 90s and all. So at that point, the first trilogy was already kind of old. Going back and watching it now, I appreciate the story, but I feel like, so people hated on the prequels, right? And now everyone loves the prequels. People have always glazed the original trilogy, when I feel like, I don't know, Star Wars fans are fickle. That's all I'm going to say. Star Wars fans are fickle, and they ruin it for themselves and everybody else that tries to love the franchise.
You know,
I'm just saying.
You know why people enjoy the prequels now, right?
Why?
It's because the people that enjoyed the prequels and the people that enjoyed the originals clammed together and literally hate.
Oh yeah,
they just hate
they're trash.
Okay, that's
they're
fair.
awful. They're people
Everybody
are
found
trying to ignore that they ever happened
ground.
because they are bad.
Okay,
Objectively bad.
That makes sense.
That's fair. Flipuma, instead of Star Wars, I went down the other rabbit hole, like 7 Indiana Jones and his amazing friends.
That's a good rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
I like it. I like where you're going.
Find a lot of those at Ollie's these days too. So here we go. I think Legion X says he had that tank. Right? Okay. Cool. So, guys, Joe O'Neill. Pew. I will say, Joe O'Neill, hot take. I prefer the prequels over the original trilogy. Come at me. It's what I grew up with. It's what I liked. I know, Kenny. Look
at Jar Jar.
Look,
won your heart.
back to when I worked at a movie theater. Right, I worked at a movie theater. No, I did. Which one? I think it was. I started working the second one, not Phantom Menace, and then I was already out of there by Revenge of the Sith. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah. Although George, I will tell you this, like Lucasfilm, they do require movie theaters to send back all of the merchandise. So like when I worked at a movie theater, we were allowed to keep like posters and standees and whatever, right? But the Star Wars stuff we had to send back.
Oh man. Star Wars is weird.
Yeah.
They're weird about their stuff, man. Weird about their stuff. Michael Davis says, be controversial. and say I still dislike the prequels. I don't think that's a controversial topic
No,
there.
I wouldn't consider that controversial.
Nah.
I will
the only
say
thing-
that as a whole, the cast was better in the original or in the prequels than the originals.
As Qui-Gon Jinn
Like,
is my favorite Jedi.
Harrison Ford by far was the best part of the originals, like by a mile. Outside of that, I think it was more aesthetic and the concepts that stuck with people. And I mean, even if when you watch it in 2025, Star Wars in the 70s looks great. Like that,
I mean,
it to look the way it did in 1974, I think it was the first movie that came out, is incredible.
And imagine seeing that in the 70s. I mean, that
right,
just
exactly.
blows people's minds, you know?
Exactly. But like in the prequels, I mean, you got Liam Neeson, you got Ian McGregor, Natalie Portman goes on to become one of the best actresses in Hollywood at, obviously not counting episode 3 because the sand. Hayden Christensen was hated on and just annihilated. And then everybody's crazy over the moon when he comes back. I liked him. I thought he embodied Luke. Luke was a crybaby. Hayden was a crybaby. That he embodied the Star Wars legacy. So I get why people didn't like him. And it's hard to take what happened in the 70s and early 80s and recreate that. It's just like I would argue with Indiana Jones. The 3 are perfect.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the others are not great.
Right.
You didn't like Crystal Skull? Come on, man.
No, it was terrible, in my opinion. It's better. I will say it's better than the Dial one.
It's like I always say, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace is the best Superman movie available.
I need to do a Bernie Sanders meme for that, for you.
Hold on. Hold that back up there, Kenny. Hold that back up.
I'm once again asking you.
What a piece of junk.
I'm once again asking you to enjoy The Quest for Peace.
All right. Here we go. These are the wonderful memes that David made. And David, I threw the Justified logo on here, the Collecting Justified logo to share it on Instagram. If you haven't seen these, David brought to my attention, there are 3 things that I basically always am. You could say you check them off on your bingo card in every stream, right, David? I'm always going to talk about what you guys have, said. It's weeb shit, right? Not my words. Everybody else's. I think. Compulsive Collector probably said it first.
And I do have the definition and the origin of weeb if you wanted to hear it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the term weeb is short for weeaboo, a term emerged in the early 2000s as a derogatory slang term for individuals who were obsessed with Japanese culture, particular anime and manga. The term originated from a webcomic, the Perry Bible Fellowship, and was later adopted and repurposed by users online on 4chan.
Oh.
So now it was a derogatory term, but now it is a classification, and I feel like weeb is accepted.
Right. It's
more of a term of endearment.
Ironically.
Turn hate into love. I love it.
There we go. John Bordeaux asks, should I start collecting Black Series or not? I will say, if you're a Star Wars fan, go for it if you like 6-inch figures, but don't backtrack and spend big on anything because they're re-releasing characters constantly. Just if you're into it, just buy the newer stuff as it comes out. Maybe as it hits a sale on Amazon, goes down by a few bucks, But you were saying here that you collect the 3.75.
Oh, those are cool.
If you've already got that, if you want to do 6-inch, go for it, but just don't spend big on anything.
I would say the money you're planning to spend on Black Series, just send that to me, and then I'll decide for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Thanks,
that.
John. Bro.
So let's go through these other 2 memes. So all 3 memes, David, and let's see if we've checked off the bingo card yet. And if we haven't, I'm sure we will by the end of the night. So this next one is, go ahead and read it, David.
I am once again asking for you to watch Kubo and the Two Strings. It's an excellent movie, and I can't believe it was so universally unliked.
I haven't brought up Kubo yet, have I? I mean, I showed off one of the toys. I think.
You did. You did. This bring up
yes.
Kubo.
Yeah.
Does that count?
That counts.
That counts. Yep. Okay. So, Snook, have you watched Kubo and the Two Strings?
Absolutely not.
What? See?
Did not
Look,
it did
I
not
like
look
you
like it would
already,
interest
Snook.
me at all. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's so good. It's so good. So,
I don't
yeah,
like that animation style bothers me.
it's stop motion, and look, it's
Yeah,
so
it's
cool
just janky.
because they hold the record for the two biggest like animatronic puppets
Okay.
ever. They hold the number 1 record and the number 2 record. And also, there's a scene or a thing where they do. I've got a little toy of it here. They do a boat made out of leaves, and they actually made it and like glued
Oh,
like
that's cool.
thousands and thousands of leaves together and make the actual boat. It's a really cool story. I recommend
Yeah.
going back and watching the movie.
I mean, I always open to everything. I mean, I watched the Minecraft movie today with my kids.
So look, nowhere to go but up. Right?
Yeah, that was
popcorn
awful.
go everywhere.
That was unbearable.
Yeah.
I would have if I didn't go with my kids, I would have walked out, but I couldn't leave them.
I keep seeing all these
maybe you should
videos.
have. Maybe the movie was that bad that it might have been worse.
It was really bad. They enjoyed it, so seeing smiles on their faces was good enough for me.
But you know what movie wasn't that bad?
What?
Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, okay.
So have you guys seen my huge Kubo figure? My super
Could we
size?
tell if it was bad if nobody went and saw it? It's like if a tree falls in the forest, you know?
Joe O'Neill likes it.
Yeah.
I've never seen
All
it.
right, we have one.
Yeah. And David, didn't you say your roommate is like my other new best friend? David's roommate also loved Kubo and the Two Strings. So there was 3 of us at least. Okay.
In the world, yeah.
In the
Well,
world.
actually 4 of us, because then there's the guy that 3D printed me these figures. Right.
There's like
So
8 billion people or something. That's
Mhm.
Yeah, you know. Andrew said he watched it and he liked it. So unless he's lying to me, I don't know. Trying to get out of the
It's
basement.
entirely possible.
Yeah.
He still might be AI.
Right.
We don't
true.
know.
We still have not debunked that either.
So-
So
So we're 2 for 2 on the bingo card so far, David. So this third one.
I am once again asking for you to consider watching the trivia episode. It is really entertaining. I am still shocked that it is so low rated.
Have I brought up the trivia episode before this?
Yeah.
I think I did
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Ah, damn it. Yeah. So unironically, I have actually already brought up all 3 of those things probably within the first 30 minutes of the episode. So yeah, it's true. David, on point with the memes. On point with the memes, my friend.
If I don't know you by now, Justin, I'm
Right,
never
it's
going to know you.
It's been years at this point, right? It's been years. So Snook, I want to put the spotlight on you, my friend. And
Okay.
first of all, I do want to bring up your YouTube channel and tell everybody that if they are not subscribed to Snook, the link to his YouTube channel is in the description down below. You do live streams and videos, right? But I think the videos have gone on a little bit of a hiatus here recently. You're mainly doing the live streams every 2 weeks.
Yeah, live streams have moved to once a month now. And videos are coming back. I picked up a new camera and some stuff. It's kind of been slow in the process of building a house right now. So living at my parents', that's why you see like lighthouses, and my room is smaller than a shoebox.
I just thought you liked lighthouses, man. It's
Dude,
cool.
yeah, just wish I lived in Maine, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, videos are on a little bit of hiatus. I'm trying to get one put out a video 2 weeks ago talking about Dragon Ball Super, which is really funny because that video was filmed over a year ago, which was still relevant, which I thought was really hilarious. But yeah, trying to get back into videos, changing the style a little bit. Creatively, I felt like I was doing the same thing. And I just find traditional reviews on YouTube of the body cam footage with the figure in my hand boring. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it entertaining and make it fun, make it creative, make it fun. So I'm kind of in that planning stage, but ramping back up. Got my Adobe up and running. Got a new camera, new microphone set. So we're ready to hit the ground running, which I'm really excited for because, and you guys probably know this is, doing YouTube and stuff. It's like, once you get that, once you find your niche, it's kind of hard to break out of that to the point where you almost feel like you can't do something. Cause like I started with Dragon Ball and me going outside Dragon Ball videos wouldn't do well. And it's just like, well, I want to make this thing work. But at the same time, man, I don't care. I just want to have fun with this. And I think I took it a little too more serious before my break, but I don't know. That's why I like live streaming, man. Like really having conversations with my chat and just talking and building relationships meeting you on Justin on here. I met Mars through here. Z, that I got those figures from on Instagram, met him through this. And if I never started this this endeavor, then I would have never had people to talk about figures. And my wife can only talk to me about anime and figures for so long before her head explodes. So I know she's appreciative of it. So it's really, really cool. And when I first started collecting, it was kind of hard to figure out, like, where do I buy these? What do I buy? What do I need to look out for? And starting that Discord that I have, Collecting Together, has really brought that to the light, where it's like helping each other, bringing the knowledge that you have, or if you're new to it, because I went to Reddit, and Reddit is a cesspool. You know, if somebody was really big into customs, you know, it's their very first custom, never made a custom before, and it might look not great, but people rip them to shreds and maybe discourage them. So like, that wasn't the best thing going down that realm for me. So I don't know, just thought it would be kind of cool to create a community that is all, you know, positive. If you don't like weeb shit, don't come to my channel. I'm telling you that right now. I have more interests than just like weeb shit, but if you don't like it, probably not the channel for you, to be honest.
But still, you can still subscribe and go like the videos, you know.
Maybe you will learn to like weeb shit, you know.
Exactly.
It could be everybody needs a
Indoctrination.
opening, right? A doorway. No, indoctrination. This is indoctrination, but everybody needs a doorway, you know?
Yeah, I mean, everything can be classified in a derogatory term, though, you know. Whatever that is, anime, cartoons, stop motion, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's people that just, like, my dad makes fun of me about it all the time. Oh, you watching them cartoons again? My buddy Keeper, my best friend, he's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, just watching the newest episode of Solo Leveling. Oh, is that hentai stuff? You know, just it's that razzing. But like, if you get away from, is this comic book stuff? Is this anime stuff? Is this cartoon? Whatever, and enjoy it and invest in the characters and the story that they're trying to tell. I don't know. You just find really good stories, and not everything is the same. Anime as a whole, I would say, is so segmented out. I mean, you've got, you know, slice of life stuff. You've got romance. You've got action. You've got adventure. You got sci-fi, just in anime alone. So just because what I like or what I talk about on my channel may not be, there could be another anime fan next to me, and we wouldn't have anything in common. Yeah. Just because it's over the anime umbrella, it's just so diverse, which I think is really interesting.
John Morrissey drops his 3-month member chat. Thank you, John Morrissey, my best friend. He hates Kenny, by the way. It's time to smash that like button, peeps, even if you don't like weeb shit. Thank you, John Morrissey. Thank you. I do appreciate you, at least tolerating Kenny and talking to him every now and then. I'll allow it for now, I guess. Whatever. Just not on Saturdays, okay? Not on Saturdays.
But we only talk Sunday through Friday.
Okay, yeah, and that's okay, I guess. Yeah. I guess whatever. But Snook, you talking about the different animes? There are so many different ones, and one that you've probably, I don't know if you've watched it, but I've talked to the guys a little bit before. Me and my wife, I kind of turned her into a nerd after we started dating a little bit and got engaged. I used to play card games a lot, and we would travel and go to like regional tournaments and all this, and we played a game called Card Fight Vanguard. It's it's in the same realm as like Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering, traveling tournaments and stuff like that.
It's not popular.
It died. No, it didn't really die. It's like they keep relaunching.
So I was just being coy there for a second.
Yeah, basically.
I've never heard of that ever.
Yeah, but there was an anime that went along with it.
Has.
Oh, okay.
And I actually got her into watching that anime, and we used to watch the anime together. This was a while ago. But and then we had kids and no more playing card games and all that stuff,
They'll get old enough where you can get back into it. Trust me.
All right. Yeah, I've got a closet filled with like old cards and like tournament decks and stuff like that. But that's all put away, and now all this is behind me. I always collected a little bit, but after that hobby died, that's when I really like went off the deep end with all this stuff. So I just have to have a creative outlet.
Right.
So Snook, I want to ask you, how did you get into collecting? How did this kind of become your creative outlet? Is it something you've always done, or is it like something newer?
I've always been a collecting personality. I get that from like my grandmother and my mother. So I mean, I used to collect wrestling action figures back in the day. They had oh my god, I don't remember what they were called. Had the big WWE symbol, and then it had like the gold letters on the side. It was probably early 2000s when those came out. They made them all about the legends. And you know, before that, and then early 90s, Pokemon. I was a Pokemon collector. Still have quite a few of my Pokemon cards. And you know, and when I started really getting back into collecting, I was a Funko Pop collector for a long time. Really got into that. My close friend Brad, he got me into that. Kind of, I liked the where you could buy several different series and merge them together where the styles looked the same, but they were from different franchises. I like this, you know, how they kind of flowed together. And then just kind of got to the point where you know, you walk into a room and half your wall is just figures, and it's just like, and they're in boxes, and it's just like, no, well, different. Yours is different. Like the whole wall, because I was an inbox collector, so it was just like stacked up, and I didn't have sheetrock anymore. I had these, and I never did anything with them. They weren't ever, you know, I had some Doctor Who ones, some Marvel ones, stuff like that. They were never accurate to the franchises. So like looking at somebody, it was popified. It really wasn't the character that I know of. And was I collecting what I liked, or was I collecting Funko Pops, which I didn't really give a darn about? Yeah. And so I kind of stepped away from that. And also at that time, collecting that stuff for about 5 years or so. You know, as careers go on, you get further and further, and the paychecks get bigger and bigger. And I thought at that time it was time for me to step up my collection. And I discovered from another friend the SH Figuarts. And that kind of just steamrolled from there. It was like, oh, I mean, I have a Captain Ginyu Funko Pop, but I bought Captain Ginyu, the actual figure. I'm like, this looks literally from the anime that I watch. I can move them around. I can put them in the poses from the anime. I was able to actually recreate scenes, what struck an emotional chord with me when I was younger. And I was like, okay, well, these things, this wall's got to go. And it was really cool because that also ignited the YouTube channel, because I was able to try to be as financially responsible as possible. And what I did is I did a 50-50 split. I sold every single Funko Pop I had. I did a 50% into my savings, 50% I spent on a brand new computer and all the gear that I could to start my YouTube channel. Nice. It was a lot. So I actually was able to do that, got these figures, really liked them. Didn't really have anybody to talk to. Like I had my buddy Brad that collected them as well. Hey man, what do you think of this figure? Oh yeah, it's great. I bought it too. End of conversation. You know what I mean? Like it was like, cool, you know, like you can't have the conversation about, you know, like you can only talk so long about it. And I was like, well, I like making videos and stuff like that, because when I was in high school, I was part of a thing called Tiger Talk, or video production class. Yeah. And I've always loved that process. Used to make movies when I was a kid too, with a buddy of mine named Josh. Yeah. And awesome. got to combine those together by doing the YouTube thing. And it kind of just steamrolled. Was doing a video every week, you know, covering this, covering that, talking about it, started live streaming quite a bit, started that connection, really enjoyed that connection. And it's just kind of steamrolled. And my interest level is just so vast in stuff I like that I try to tamper on what I collect. You know, I'm a really big comic book guy. I like Marvel mainly. Marvel's my shtick. But I am my favorite superhero of all time is Batman. So I really love Batman. I'm a big anime fan. I've actually been getting into, as you could probably see, these two shelves are basically full of manga. I started getting away from the anime scene just because it's kind of hard for my attention span to try to binge a show that's, you know, 20 minutes when I can read 3 chapters in about 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I was able to steamroll. I was watching One Piece, transition to that. Now I'm reading it. So I officially, as of 2 days ago, officially from volume 1, have passed where I was in the anime. So everything is brand new to me, which is exciting. It only took up until volume 49. And there's 110 of them. volumes. So it's what?
So many.
Wait, you guys can read?
I'm not a smart man.
But I so I kind of transitioned into that and just have so many interests. Like as you guys can probably see right there, that's actually the Scooby-Doo mansion from Lego. So I have that as well. I'm growing up, I was a huge Scooby-Doo fan. Kind of a movie buff. Star Wars is not my favorite. Oh, Scooby-Doo and Batman. There you go. But
Are
yeah,
you,
just kind of
Snook, are you into the Jada Scooby-Doo line? Are you getting into that?
no. No, I don't. Outside of there's only 2 lines that I collect that I would say are in that sub 30 price point. I get the whatever what are the Marvel Legends retro card,
Whatever these
Spider-Man.
Marvel Legends are.
Yeah. I get those, and then I get the Gundam Universe version from Tamashi of the Gundam Wing stuff. Outside of that, it's mainly SH Figure Arts, Mofx. I buy a few of the NECA stuff, even though NECA, for what I paid for Shredder, it doesn't look like $45 worth of material. I just don't. I feel like they're kind of overpriced.
Would you say the dollar to detail isn't there?
You had to get it in.
Probably. Especially when you move them, they scratch really easily. They don't move very well. They kind of feel like Dookie, but they look real good. Just don't get too close and don't touch them. So that kind of steamrolled, and I just try to moderate my interests for dollar amount. I mean, because I literally could probably spend every dollar I had on stuff I'm interested in. But I've started pre all this tariff stuff. I have made a conscious decision to cut down on what I collect. So mainly my collection going forward will be One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. Those will be the 3 SH Figure Arts lines I collect. Outside of that, there'll be sporadic stuff like the Legends cards, the retro cards, and stuff like that. Just because it's getting to the point where it's too much. I would rather spend my time money a little bit on experiences than figures. So not that I don't love them. I mean, Tamashi's about to make a Hunter, and I'm like, don't need a Gon. I don't need a Killua. Like, I don't need them. Try to talk myself out of it, even though I'll probably buy them.
Yeah, same, man, same. I talked myself out of it though.
Yeah.
You're
not there yet, though, are you?
No.
You have no idea who I'm talking. What characters there are, do you?
I have no idea. I'm trying.
It's from an anime called Hunter. It's really good.
Snook, can I ask how old you are?
I will turn 37, 38 this year.
I thought he was going to say 30. I was like, damn.
No,
I was about to walk off the stream.
Yeah.
If I said 30?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, you said you had gray in your beard earlier, so
I
I was hoping you were a little more, but I understand why Fraggle Rock missed you because you're a bit younger, a little younger than me and Kenny's range.
Got you.
I don't know. Don't put Kenny up there in your senior citizen age bracket.
I'm
David.
27, dude. I
Sure.
haven't even reached 30 yet.
Hey, I mean, those discounts at Taco Bell, man, senior discount. You gotta rock them when you can.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
Snook, you mentioned a line that I haven't heard a lot of other people talk about collecting. I too collect the Gundam Universe, specifically the Gundam Wing line.
Hell yeah, dude.
But it really slowed down here recently, and now we're waiting on Epion and the series version of Wing Zero. We got Endless Waltz Wing Zero earlier.
Wing Zero custom.
Yeah. How do you feel about that price points kind of creeping up on those? I don't know if you saw, but the pre-order prices, I think it's like 34, I think.
Yeah, they're $10 more than they usually are. I don't think tariffs took a point into that because those happened beforehand.
Yeah.
With Wing Zero and Epion, they are describing those as more as deluxe figures. So there's gonna be more parts to them. I mean, I think just one wing on Wing Zero is like 6 parts. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of articulation, a lot of hinges more than the other ones. So they're detailing them as more deluxe figures, which I'm fine with because getting Epion, getting Wing Zero, got to have them. Those are the staples of that show. I don't know. I love the fact that they do them, and I don't mind that it's like every other wave is one wing figure, and then you get like some other Gundams from, you know, Gundam Seed, G Gundam, stuff like that. I like that because it also tapers it out. You know, I don't feel like I'm spending my whole monthly budget that I allow myself to buy figures or whatever. I don't allow myself to buy everything because outside of Gundam, it's just wing for me. I don't really care about G or all those other ones. But no, I think they're great. I mean, $10. I mean, I try not to. $10 is nothing to me. Like, you know, people are freaking. Yeah, well, I don't.
It's something to me. Can you send me $10?
No, I don't. At the end of the day, like I know this kind of brings it up, and it kind of goes into the tariff conversation a little bit. I don't want to get too involved into that because people get really upset when you talk about politics stuff.
They do.
At the end of the day, like if you collect a certain line, is it worth the money to you to buy that figure in the end of the day? Like $10 to me for that line because I love that line as much, and I love that series that much. $10 is not going to break it for me. Now, if they increase it by 25, they're not worth that.
No,
it's just the engineering that comes into them. They're not worth that amount. But $10 here and there, I understand. That kind of goes into the video game market thing. Everybody's been blowing up about the Switch and the $80 Mario Kart and stuff. I mean, but being a big video game guy since the 64 time, like 96, your games were $50. They've only gone up in 30 some years, $20. Like, I mean, we're blessed for that. So, and a lot of time, money, effort. Like, how many? I'm sure all of us at some point have played Skyrim. How many hours do you have in Skyrim? Like hundreds. Like, if you take the amount of hours that you put into Skyrim minus 0, well, you didn't spend the $60. But taking hundreds of hours, or Cyberpunk's 2077 or whatever game. No matter how much money you put into that, like you got to think you're spending like pennies on the hour that you spend for that game. So at the end of the day, like the $10 doesn't bother me. If we're talking 25, 30, 40, or like a lot of times like 140%, I'm not spending $160 on nail. It's just not going to happen. It's just not worth it. But maybe it's just somebody it is, which is great. I'm happy for them.
So let's see here. The Gundam Wing stuff. I was gonna say I can at least see where they're putting the extra money as I look at my shelf where my Gundam Wing figures are. Something that bothered me about the earlier Wing figures is they would come with like the hilt or the handle for like the beam saber, but they would never come with the actual beam for David and Kenny. They would have think of it as like a lightsaber. They would have like lightsaber weapons. So. But they would come with the hilt and no beam.
Just a really big ass lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like a 10-story building lightsaber.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like
they're huge.
A more agile Megazord with a lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's Gundam Wing.
Seems unnecessary, but all right.
Yeah.
So very extra.
Yeah, I mean, and also they're getting especially with these two. If this was like, I don't know, like the next figure, a Leo space version, and it was 35, I'd question it. But these two specifically are so complicated, especially with Epion's whip, the beam sword that he has, which is it looks like a lava lamp shape kind of thing. Like especially with those complications, these make sense because like I said, they almost deem more of a deluxe type of figure. But if they came out with Leo space and it's like, hey, it's $35, I'd be like, nope. Yeah, that's just cannon fodder.
Mentioning Leo, I'm glad they did do the Leo. Yeah. So, guys, we're talking about like Leo, Aries, Taurus. It's kind of like your army builders, like the bad guys or good guys would have these regular generic army mechs.
Okay.
And so they did Leo, which is like a green army mech. Now they need to do Aries, which is like the more airborne one. They need to do the Tauruses, which came in white and black, which were like the more space.
Well, the Tauruses were drones.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they need to do.
They weren't man operated. They were like a think of Ultron from Age of Ultron. I don't know if you a Marvel guy,
Okay.
watch the movies.
Yeah.
Like how
Yeah.
Ultron, how like Tony's fleet was more of like a automaton, like
Mhm.
AI based,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
piloted mechs.
But I hope they keep that line going.
No, me too. But they're taking a weird break too because they announced the next wave is just a re-release of. It's three re-releases. I don't remember what they are, but
Ooh.
I mean, $25 for them. The only downside is my Wing Zero custom. The wing's broken because it's some hard ass fragile plastic.
Yeah,
and I was like, I tried to do the pose from the cover. You know, his wings spread really wide, his legs crossed and stuff, and trying to get the wing out, it snapped. So it's like, oh, you gotta get super glue. I was just like, oh, I'll deal with this later. I put it in the box, and I haven't seen it, but for about a year.
Rick did ask, is Avatar considered weeb?
No,
Yeah.
Technically no, because
Really,
because Avatar is not produced in Japan.
oh,
It's not considered
okay.
an anime. It's considered animation or more of a cartoon, and it was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. All right, and is this your roommate, David?
Yes, it is.
Shit. David Evan Smith's roommate, Phil Scene. Well, you are Scene, my friend. You love weeb shit, and you love Kubo and the Two Strings. We're best friends now. We're best friends. So, David, just next week, maybe just just like switch rooms with him.
I
okay?
consider
I feel like
actually
next
having
week-
him show up for this stream
week.
instead of me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to break my attendance record.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey, it's just like the game 17 in football. You don't want to break your Iron Man streak. Just do one snap and then tag out. You started.
That's true. Snook, you make a good point there.
See, I'm into football too, man. I'm into everything. I got too many
now,
hobbies.
Also, right over my
back.
head.
We're talking football. All
Ooh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The next hour, we're just going to talk about the draft, guys.
This-
So,
What is your team?
This homosexual is tagging out. This homosexual.
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, sorry then.
No, sorry for what? No, we're fine.
Is
We're
this
doing
what
good.
hell looks like? Is this?
Yeah,
is
a
it-
little bit, David. Yeah,
I can't
It's
say
like
anything.
a combination of things that you just don't like.
I'm a diehard Panthers fan, so I've been hurting for like the past decade. So,
I mean, I
but
was there for 50 years, so I get it.
Mark Tack, good friend of the channel, is here bright and early. Good morning / evening, y'all. What's up, Mark? And Christopher Allen said, this is the part of the stream where he's going to need a translator. And let's see, Rick says, or lean into it like the antidote to ignorance. I get it, Rick. I get it. Politics, but the thing is, so my stance on politics in a toy live stream is we're not going to change anybody's opinion here.
No.
So I'm
Or
not going to
maybe
actively.
we will.
Maybe I'm not going to actively avoid it.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, we've talked about tariffs on here and everything, but it just gets messy. And this is my fun place. Like I just want to talk about like fun things. I've got enough of life going on outside of here. This is my 2 or 3 hours out of the week to just have fun.
Wait, you mean you don't collect toys to go on the internet and complain about the one thing that you're supposed to enjoy?
Now,
That's
just that
Kenny's
one
whole shtick. Like, what?
That's my whole. Yeah,
Why are you coming for his gigs, man?
Come on, man.
Man, I'm sorry, Kenny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
So Snook, let's see. I
Yes, sir.
do want to talk about this. I'm very excited for this figure here. But
Okay.
everyone's freaking out because the pre-orders sold out so quick, and it's going to be so impossible to find, even though they've said it's going to be a retail release. It's going to be $35 everywhere, and everyone's freaking out about this Cell Saga Goku.
People need to chill out. Chill out. It's a general release. This happened with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Everybody pre-ordered it within about 5 minutes, and everybody's like, I'm not gonna be able to own this figure. I still see it on shelves. It's a general release. This is Goku. They're gonna print about 250,000 of these. They're gonna be everywhere. I wouldn't worry about it. But I think it looks cool. Do we need it? No. This is like the 100th Goku.
But it's 3.0. It's updated.
I don't need. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I collect action figures, but I listen and understand the terminology or the classification of 3.0, 2.0 as much as I understand French. I don't care. 3.0 forward. Does it do what I want it to do? Does it look the way I want it to look? I don't. People just need to chill out. Because to me, this looks no different than any other Super Saiyan Goku we've gotten. It looks dope. I like it. Would I have rather gotten the Saiyan armor Goku than this one? Absolutely. But I mean, that's cool. $35. Or probably be closer to 40, 45 going forward with the price increases. But
what if they called it Maximum?
Oh, there we go.
Made a $25 figure and gave it more accessories.
Yeah.
That was really disappointing, by the way. That would have been such a cool opportunity for Legends to get into this ball field, and I just feel like they fumbled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to hear our opinions on that, we did a stream. So
did you? Okay.
But yeah, well, I don't know, man, because I'm so wishy-washy. Like in that stream, like I said, like, okay, I'm gonna pre-order Hulk, and then I did pre-order Hulk because I just don't have a Marvel Legends Hulk. I passed on all the previous.
It looks
ones.
good too.
Yeah, and is it overpriced? Yes, it is overpriced.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's the newest one, and it's the same price, if not a little less than the aftermarket on all the previous ones.
Okay.
So that was the only reason I was like, okay, I'll get it. But then like I think a week went by and I canceled my pre-order because I talked myself out of it because it's just not that good. I don't know.
I will give it praise and be positive on it. Where I love the fact that you can do 3 different eras of the Hulk. Mm-hmm. My concern is the rubber chest. Eventually, that will crack, and it'll be really bad. I think for short term, I think that's really cool. Tamashi did the same thing with the ImagineWorks Goku, where they made his skin like a rubber, and Hot Toys is really notorious for this, where the plastic cracks and then the skeleton pokes through the skin. I think it's cool for the short term. But do you want a $60 figure that eventually will have cracks right here because you've messed with it too much? But I do think it's overpriced for $60, and it was just a missed opportunity. I think that would have been really freaking cool for Legends to get into the fight against Tamashi, against Figma, or Good Smile Company, and all that kind of stuff. But back to this figure. What are you gonna get your?
They want to, Goku? But then
what?
Yes, I definitely want this Goku. It's perfect. It's that Cell Saga look. Besides this one, I mean, I have the general release full power Super Saiyan Goku, which was supposed to be like the stand-in. Like that was supposed to be like pre-cell games or cell games. This is just that the biggest thing with the 3.0 buck is
full power. The full power Goku.
The animation styles changed.
Yeah. Yep. Full power. That's going to be against the androids. That's when he has his heart attack.
Oh yeah. Right. But it was like it does come with the faceplate where like when he came out of the time chamber and him and Gohan had that downtime with like the big eyes kind of.
Yep. Where they go to driving school.
Yeah. Piccolo starts driving too.
My one complaint on this figure, Justin, is scroll down a little bit. What do you think what do you think about the blood on his thighs? The red. I'm hoping that's like
it's a weird shading
photo.
Choice, right?
I'm hoping that's a photo mess up, like just a color distortion, because I don't understand why there's so much red on his like legs. It's weird.
It's got to be them like doing like trying their thing at cell shading if it's going to be there at the end, like some type of cell shading or shadowing, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird choice because they haven't done that.
It looks very like almost like a chevron, like several chevrons going down instead of
cohesive
cell shading. You know, like it has like this sort of.
Yeah,
it looks.
Weird.
It just looks off.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping it's like a mess up, like it's just a pre-image of it, but it just looks. It's just like, did he need somebody in the mouth or something?
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
But my thing is, it's a bigger buck, so he's more buff. It's updated faceplate. They just keep getting better and better, usually.
Oh, yeah.
The technology, like they're going over it here. And yeah, improvements. This is what you should be doing. Improvements. improvement
Well,
wise and everything.
So I guess my question to you, and it's more, I guess all of you obviously could answer it, but it's more prevalent in Tamashii Nations and anime figures. But what is your take on, would you rather them do the same thing over and over and get good products? Or would you rather them take chances on things that could potentially make a figure better, like say soft goods on a figure, or there was a Vegeta that like the chest was removable, but it limited the hit or the crunch, ab crunch on a figure. Would you guys, what side of fence do you guys play on that?
I say take chances, because we don't get improvements if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I think it's worth the risk, right?
I would say soft goods. For me, like the only SH figure arts I've bought really are some DC movie figures.
Okay.
And the Power Rangers, like the main MMPR Power Rangers, and like their articulation is good, but it's kind of unsightly and a little clunky, and so I think soft goods could, in the right way, mask that a little bit and let you have the articulation without, like, but still covering up kind of the weird cuts in the sculpt. But I wouldn't want like a complete leotard Power Ranger, because I find that doesn't really get executed well on the grand scheme. So like if it's this figure in a soft goods orange
it's called the gi
outfit, his gi, if it's that in a soft goods on like in pieces, maybe like that could help mask the articulation cuts and make it look more seamless, you know. Like Rebel 10 Customs designed the Cyberpunk figures outfits, and those look epic. I've never dealt with Cyberpunk. I don't know anything about it, but like the figures look amazing because the outfits are like strong and impactful and well tailored. So like I would always go to that, but you know, every company has a different story about what the cost is with soft goods. So who knows, you know, what's possible.
Kenny, what is your terrible, absolutely wrong take on Snook's question?
No, I think as like I was trying to think of, you know, someone and David will be able to resonate with this as like, as a Marvel Legends hoarder, are we willing to accept the experiments and the changes to make a better figure? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, right? Sometimes in execution it is good, and sometimes you get spider sperm. So I mean, I it really just depends, right? So I think look at it this way: if it's your favorite character, then I'm okay with the experimentation. I'll take, like, for me, Superman, right? Superman is my favorite superhero of all time.
What?
I have a ton of Superman figures and things and whatever. So I will buy whatever any company puts out for Superman, is, you know, if it's something I like, you know. So do I mind that McFarlane is experimenting with cloth capes compared to like the previous iterations of the Superman figures from the line? Not at all, because the Superman figure still looks good. Personally, like I really go back and forth when it comes to things like cloth capes for my action figures, because I'm still tied to this idea of when I was a kid, and you know, capes were just plastic capes, and that's what action figures look like. Even though like now I when I build a display out, I'm doing like posing and trying to make something a little bit more dynamic than just standing a figure up. I kind of go back and forth where I feel about soft goods in that sense. And if it's soft goods, as like David was saying, like if the gi here is soft goods or just the full costume itself, I don't like that. I don't think it looks good on a small scale because it just doesn't translate well. It always looks baggy. It just, to me, it doesn't really come out as something that looks good. And for the companies that are doing it, think, all right, and this is controversial probably, but think about like the Mafex Gambit, right? All right, it's a very nice looking figure, but that coat, his coat looks so big and awful to me. Like I would never buy that figure. And I guess CT Toys is doing one now, but like I would never buy that because it just does not translate well to me in scale, right? So it's just sometimes the soft goods can come off too big and just not translate well. But do I mind when a company experiments with that stuff? Absolutely not. You got to find where your niche is. You got to find what drives people to want that figure. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You know, but it all boils down to each your own, right? That's what it boils down to. You know?
No, I definitely get what you're saying and stuff, like where it's like sometimes if soft goods are used tastefully, it can accentuate the figure, but it also could be, there's that fine line between enhancing a figure and distracting a figure. So I've got an example here. This is Pain from Naruto, and his cloth is soft goods here. This is very, very baggy. Like the figure in here is very, like you can see that's where the figure is.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be that way. But if this was Goku's gi, you think they can make it as fitting more than this?
No,
I think it would look terrible.
Right.
And my guess also is, so you come out with an Akatsuki member with soft goods, but then you come out with another one that doesn't soft goods. That's when it drives me nuts. It's the aesthetic difference. Like if you're going to do something, like an example is, the best example is the new teen Gohan from Dragon Ball Z has a cloth cape. Now I can't put him next to my Piccolo because my Piccolo has the hard plastic. It just looks dumb. It just doesn't fit. And on the teen Gohan, the upper shoulder, so it's like it has like think of like shoulder pads, like football shoulder pads.
Yeah.
But with a cape over it, and the cape kind of goes like this, like in front, okay? Yeah. And this part, the shoulder parts and the part that goes across his breastplate right here is hard. But everything from the shoulder blades down is soft goods. It doesn't make sense. It looks horrible.
Not a lot of
that's
balance.
the figure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So like everything on the top is hard. So his shoulder pads, like is a hard plastic, but then underneath is soft goods. It just the material, looking at it, you can tell it's material compared to plastic, and there's a weird texture difference that you can see that just I don't think works.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely with you about like the all or nothing kind of thing. It's like you want a consistent aesthetic. Yeah. So when they experiment with certain ones and pick and choose how they execute it, then you just end up with a very inconsistent looking shelf, which is frustrating and distracting. Right. So like I'm with you there. It's like McFarlane like going into bendy wire capes, but then still releasing things with sculpted plastic capes.
The sculpted capes,
that are bizarre. Like now you're not like, is it the same line?
Right.
So and then Legends is dallying in soft goods capes, but they're very limp and like not interesting at all.
It's napkin. You know,
yeah,
it's
Odin with like a scrap of white fabric that was like thrown on his back. Yeah. It's good because he needs to be able to sit on a throne potentially if you ever had a throne. But like, and Dr. Doom with a soft cape.
Yeah.
But there's no. I prefer the soft cape because if it's bendy wire, you can make dynamic posing and it kind of exponentially increases the ways you can display it.
Right.
In any kind of photography. But when it's not a bendy wire cape, it's just a soft, limp piece of fabric. Like it doesn't really add much functionality to the figure. So what's the point, you know?
Yeah. Well, and to go back to my example, so I've got the Pain here. Like I said, this is a soft good, and like just seeing his shoulders, being the material to fold around his shoulders. The one thing I'm concerned though is this is material. Material is going to break down faster than plastic. So you have that aspect of it, especially when it comes to being in the sun and whatever, which Do we all go into the sun? Probably not. But like that worries me. And then with the bendy wire, because this does have down the ridges, does have wire. Okay, how much are people playing with it to the point where it could break or break down? And then you have the flip side, which this is Gyu from Demon Slayer. So this is the same kind of concept, but this is a plastic. I'm not worried about this thing having the issues that the Pain does, but then you get, this is supposed to be this is one cape, but now it's in 3 pieces. You look at his shoulder, I'll get a little bit closer, and you can see like 28, like his shoulder, his rotator cuff, his bicep, his, so you get that kind of stuff. And then you get these weird, the natural, like if you ever see a kimono, the natural drop to a kimono, you get these weird shark fins. And it just doesn't look natural and looks really weird because, okay, what happens if I put his hand, he's standing like this, I put his hand like that. Well, the shark fin, that's not gravity. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So it's an ebb and flow. I am for companies going for to push the boundaries, because you never know, even if it's a failure. I would rather take one big failure in a toy to push the line in the right direction. Because to me, it's like complacency is death. And if you could keep going consistently and just do the same tricks of the trade, reprint the same Hulk or Naruto or whatever figure line you're print that the 100th time, you're just like, it's just the same.
Re-release
thing.
it as maximum with still single jointed pins and
right. Yeah. So I guess that was my question for you guys. It's just like, I love it when they push boundaries, because in the Dragon Ball community, Vegeta, the new black suit Vegeta, he actually has a removal chest piece. And you can actually, because in the anime, he gets shot through the stomach and dies. And
spoilers.
You're not
like
David and I were going to go tomorrow and binge
Hey,
all of this. And
you had 20 years, so
now we don't have to. So.
Ruined it.
He has this armor on, right? And it allows you to take the chest piece off and then put the new one on, and now he has the battle damage armor. Really cool concept. But literally, the only, like, if I'm bending forward, straight up, that's his ab crunch. So it's like,
that's
are you
actually
willing?
My ab crunch as well.
Right. That's me doing sit-ups, right? To justify. I did 3,000 today. I'm a beast. But like that thing where I would rather sacrifice articulation to have aesthetic. Like, I love the fact now I can have him non-damage damage or battle damage. Who cares if he can do a sit-up or not? But a lot of people in the community, in the Dragon Ball community, were mad. They're like, oh, this figure's trash. I can't do this, that, and whatever. It's like, do you really need to have him do a somersault?
The thing is, you're never going to have a perfect action figure.
What?
Somebody's going to love it. Somebody's going to hate it.
Would beg to differ.
Yeah. Todd McFarlane's perfect action figures are those Marvel statues. But
That's right. They're posed already.
For an example,
you don't have to do anything.
Snook said you don't really care for the aesthetic. I love this. I
think it looks really good. It just bothers me, like, if they did this part, just print it that way, then lay fabric over it with glue. The texture different bothers me.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the same piece.
I've seen the custom soft goods capes people have done for Piccolo, and I don't like the way the fabric sits on the shoulders. I feel like it's like way too puffy.
Too puffy?
Yeah, way too puffy.
Yeah, but you could literally just take like spray adhesive, spray on the plastic, and then take a small roller and roll it into all the grooves where it's not truly fabrically made, but it's the cover of it.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
That's a great point. And I could take that point and say, yeah, but then I would never do it.
But then you got to do this.
And
you do more stuff to it.
Yeah.
Cheddar
is asking Justin, did you ever add your Magneto cape to your 97 figure? No, it's still right here on the desk, because the way that Magneto is, I have to take an X-Acto knife and cut the plastic cape off of that. And I haven't gotten around to it. I did buy a brand new X-Acto knife with a really sharp blade to do it.
Because the 97,
How long have you had this cape, Justin?
Oh God,
a year.
It's been a year, Kenny. It was. I did get it last year though, but it hasn't been a year. So I don't know. I don't know. Everyone go back and rewatch all the old episodes of Collecting Justified and see the first time I showed that off in pickups.
There you go.
And
It was
that
probably
with
the trivia.
episode. Start with
Go
You
to
know
the
what?
trivia
It was
episode. Yeah.
probably the trivia episode. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Legion X also asked Leotard. I don't think we can say that, Rick. I don't think we can say that. We're talking about all the soft goods on everybody. Art G is here as well. What's up, Art G? And he's saying he's all in for the new Goku. I am too, Art. I like that buffer. As I was saying, Snook earlier, is like as the art style started changing, they kind of get buffer and different looks and everything, and
their jaw lines become softer. They were softer, and now they're more angular, especially towards the end of the series. Yeah. It's really cool because like I have the TN from the later saga, like the Cell saga, and I have the TN from the very first saga, and they look like almost identically different. Like different. You would almost imagine like one artist did this, one artist did this, but when Akira Toriyama did it, he evolved the art style throughout the sagas, which I think is really, really neat.
And TN never skipped arm day. Like on any of those years.
No, he's ripped he's ripped.
Flipuma says, do agree the soft goods need to strike a fair balance. It throws me off when a figure is wearing baggy cloth. Yeah. And that's why I stay away from Mezco, because it just the aesthetic, it just doesn't. I had the conversation with my local toy shop. He had a set of the Mezco Rangers in there, the 5-pack. And I was like, yeah, it's nice, man, but $400. And yeah, it's a 5-pack, but they just don't look right to me. The big bobbleheads, and the aesthetic doesn't fit. I had the Green Ranger and I sold it. It was great. It was amazing, but I found myself not wanting to mess with it because I was worried a joint was going to poke through the fabric. I was going to pop a stitch or something. And then it's like, oh, well, there goes the value of my figure, if I ever do want to move on from it. So I was like, I've got my whole Lightning collection. I've got my Rangers. This one doesn't really fit with anything. Let me just move on from it. Because I knew I wasn't going to want to drop the money on the other ones when they came out anyway. Right. So soft goods, I'm just for like capes and stuff, I'm okay with it. For like you were showing off that one figure, Snook, I think that works good on that. But like you're saying, for him, if he's next to someone else where it's all plastic, it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
It
would look dumb.
But also, it's like really about the articulation that you would need for the figure, because like I could see a soft goods for something in a big robe or a dress. That in order to articulate it, you would have to build cuts into a big drapey thing. Otherwise, if it's plastic, it's just a traffic cone that you can't articulate the figure anyway. So like I could see the argument towards something that is flowing and drapey and baggy as justifiable. But like the leotard figures doesn't call for that for me. And like even a 3-piece suit kind of thing, like that's like the Dick Tracy figures from Mezco are kind of like they're wearing their grandfather's suit, like nothing feels tailored or like fitting,
Well, and like in this figure, it would have been perfect if they would have just did the normal figure, but then this is like a robe on top of his suit. Like this part should have been soft good. Like it would have covered up all these joints on his elbow. It would have made the flowing a lot better, but it just looks so really weird. But now it's like, okay, well, I have this figure. They've announced 2 other. They're called Hashiras. They've announced 2 other figures or other characters from the anime, and they look like this, and it's like, okay, well, are you going to finish the line this way, or are you going to get seven characters deep and then give me a soft good one? Well, that's going to look dumb. It's like so.
Same, yeah.
So all I'm saying is whichever company decides to give me my line of Kubo and the 2-string figures, I don't care if they're soft goods or not. They can be all plastic. I'm not picky, I'm not picky. It's fine. It's fine.
Did they put these in like a Happy Meal back in the day? Because I feel like that was your best shot. And if that didn't happen,
that's what these are, Kenny.
Okay,
these are Burger King.
You're covered.
Kids Meal
Burger
toys.
King toys.
Burger King.
Didn't even make it to McDonald's.
I was gonna say, I'm like, they can. So Burger King would entertain them, but
Hey,
yeah, Burger King.
Hey,
McDonald's is big time.
you aim for McDonald's and you land at Burger King.
Exactly.
Well,
All right.
will
That's.
say-
I mean, come on.
The
step
supersized
up
figure I
parties.
have is from Super 7, and it was released last year. So that means maybe look, I'll pay
There's hope.
$55 for a damn Ultimate Kubo. I don't care. I'll pay the overpriced Super 7 price for my Kubo. Okay. And just do the whole line. I would buy
Maybe
it all. I'll be
McFarlane would
honest
get the
with you guys.
license. You think McFarlane would get the license?
Well,
Oh,
the
we should
studio
email
also did
McFarlane. I
Coraline.
mean, you should email McFarlane.
Yeah.
I'm not going to partake in that, but
Look-
you.
Look, Todd. The ransom of your DC Multiverse figures from that tractor trailer, we will return them when you give me my Kubo and the 2 strings line.
Yeah.
NECA does Coraline figures, and that's from the same studio.
That's true.
So
Justin in the chat, my roommate
You have a
made a
chance.
comment about the movie. So
loves the
you
movie.
have one.
Loves the movie.
You have one.
And we love you. We love you. So maybe eventually. But Snook, you don't Yu-Gi-Oh at all, right? So
I never. It was after me. Like when it really got popular, it was after Pokemon. Pokemon was the shtick. I didn't really take to that because even with Pokemon, I really collected them to collect the cards. I never played the cards. Never was a card player. And really to me, like, and this is, I know, and I'm not trying to offend any Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. I just I saw it as a less than Pokemon, like almost like a knockoff.
There's no Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like seeing it now, I understand there are the differences. I just never really got into it, and I don't think it's something like if I went back and watched Pokemon for the very first time, you know, the old school anime, like I don't think I would take to it. I think that would be the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. It's where it's like, to me, I feel like trying to hit Yu-Gi-Oh now at 30 something years old in 2025 is probably past the rose tinted glasses for me to enjoy it. Because even now, like
you're saying Yu-Gi-Oh's trash? Is that what?
No, I just
I'm
just
pretty
never
sure
interests
we've
me.
heard it here. Yu-Gi-Oh is trash. Everybody, listen to Snook.
No, I did not say that. I think the figure looks amazing. The new figure coming.
For a trash property, the figure looks amazing. Snook, you heard it here from Snook. Less than Pokemon.
Less than.
That's and I would put that with what's the other one? Digimon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I felt like
Digimon is a less
drag
than.
them.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that to me,
that.
Digimon was like the dollar store Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
like,
fair.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
That's
and
fair.
that felt more of a ripoff than Pokemon. I mean, there's a reason it's literally like a $50 billion company. It's just so dang good.
Yeah.
Even though outside of the 151, I can't endorse it. I don't. They got too weird.
There's only a few more.
There's like 1,200 Pokemon, and there's also a Mega Dragonzord, Charizard, Blue Flame, and Red Flame. No, there's 151 Pokemon, and I will die to my grave knowing that.
He will die on that hill. But I bring up the Yu-Gi-Oh thing because we're finally getting Yu-Gi-Oh figures from all these companies. I think I've talked about it on here before, maybe once. I don't know. But the pre-order for Yu-Gi went up, and that figure looks amazing. I'm definitely picking it up.
Looks sick.
I pick up Kaiba when that happens. So
it's going to happen for sure.
Figures. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Well, they've been making Yu-Gi-Oh figures for a while. It's just they were making the monsters and the SH Monstars line. Yeah. This is the actual first human they've made. Which I think is also really confusing marketing to put all all the monsters under the monster line.
Yeah.
But even though the Dark Magician is a humanoid,
human size,
and it didn't make any sense. The marketing's all whack. But I'm really excited for those people that are excited for Yu-Gi-Oh because I know that's got a big following and it looks great. Will it suffer QC issues? Will it be made in Taiwan, not China? If it's made in Taiwan, good luck. That Shikamaru I showed you earlier with the face that looks like he, was hit by a shovel. Taiwan.
Yeah. The Blue Eyes is amazing. The Dark Magician's amazing. The Red Eyes Black Dragon's amazing. Okay. The Elemental Hero Flame Wing Man is kind of trash, to be honest with you. It looks great, but
Look at it. Look at the box. See where they're made.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Every figure
it's
I've had
bad.
that has had a QC issue has been made in Taiwan.
Yeah, the dragon arm is just way too heavy. It will just drop constantly. The stand's way too finicky. It's just it's not a very good figure. Did I buy it? Yes. Is it still on my shelf? Yes. But
the Berserk figures had that problem where Guts, the main character from Berserk, couldn't even hold his own sword. It was too heavy.
I've had that problem. Let me tell you.
David's definitely had that problem.
You probably should get that looked at.
So I do want to say, hold on. I did close out the poll real quick because I have to put up a second poll.
Okay.
So poll is, do you like
So many
weeb
polls.
shit? 73% says yes, of course. The other 26% said no. They lie and say they hate it. So, you know, pretty even. You know, so everyone loves it. Everyone loves weeb shit.
My question to the chat, I guess, anybody can answer it. You guys can answer it as well. Why? What is the turn off when you watch or hear of an anime? What turns you off on it? Like, nope, not watching that. Is it just the aesthetic of it?
I'll take this
what?
one.
Okay, go for it.
I'm that seemed aggressive. I'm sorry.
Calm down.
No,
you just been waiting for this question all night. I could see it. Your eye, the shimmer in your eye just ignited like a flame.
No, I mean, honestly, like I had a lot of my friends growing up were into it. A lot of people I know are into it. A lot of my friends now are into it. It's never grabbed my attention. It's never piqued my interest. And I don't know why. You know, I collect a ton of things from a bunch of different aspects of my life, right? Like movies, cartoons, comics, it's just, I guess there was never anything that said to me, hey, you should watch Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. It just has never
I can be that for you, Kenny. Hey, you should watch.
I'm sure you
Too late.
I'm
Too
sure
late,
you
Justin.
could. It's too late.
Yeah.
The damage is done. All right. We're past that point. All right. I'm set in my ways, man. I don't know. I guess David.
Yeah, no, I mean, our collecting is based on nostalgia, and my nostalgia is based on like my entry point into and exposure to anything that I connected with in my childhood that resonated with me. So like I remember going to the newsstand every weekend with my dad, and he would get a newspaper and I'd get a comic book and I would read the comic books. And then I remember the animated series that brought that comic book to life on the television. So that kind of just reinforced my attachment to Marvel, and more Marvel than DC. But like you, Batman is my favorite DC connection. So like I have all of these nostalgic references to Marvel and DC stuff and animated series and comic books and trading cards. And there was, I can't recall an entry point for me to any anime on television or any novelization or manga books or anything. There was no, I just was not exposed to it. And
Right.
I think like as I get to this stage in my life, like, I don't think anybody really enjoys adulting from what I've heard from the people I've spoken to. None of us really, like, we're forced into adulting. So like we retreat mentally and emotionally into this secure time in our lives when we didn't have to adult. We didn't have to pay a bill. We didn't have to like pay a rent or a mortgage. And like, you just got to immerse yourself in stories and fantasy and characters. Yeah. And so I just lean harder into those things that I'm connected to from that era.
Yeah.
And I am more closed off to like embracing a new thing and a new entry point at I'm 42 years old this year. So like, it's just like, I don't have room in my brain to like learn a new mythos and like get on board with it. Anybody talking like Justin talking about Kubo and the two strings, and like there are actually three strings and one string is the father, and like
it's confusing.
like,
it's just
I'm like none of that. All of it sounds like like and my mom raised me on soap operas. Like you were talking about, the VHS needs to be on a different TV because your mom said it to
Days
record
of our
soap
lives,
operas.
baby.
You know, so my mom raised me watching soap operas as a kid.
Yep.
And if
Yep.
I tried to explain a soap opera storyline and history to you right now, it would sound as alien to you and convoluted as Kubo and the Two Strings sounds to me.
That's so good. I love
Next
that.
week on
So-
Collecting Justified.
We're talking soap operas.
So-
Soap opera episode.
General Hospital.
I just gotta slap somebody though. It's gotta happen.
Oh well, you know, I mean, like legit, there was, you know, the mom actually had two
Look,
kids that were
Luke,
twins.
Luke and
But they were
Laura.
separated at birth, and the mom forgot that she had a second child, and then they come into their life 20 years later, but you know, they're bent on revenge because they were lost from the family. Like there's
flames on the side of my face.
exactly. So, you know, like I love and have a passionate like recollection for soap operas, but me trying to get you to jump into General Hospital at this stage of the game, you'd be lost, right? Like,
I mean, well, but I guess what I would say is, you said you're closed off. You can't handle anything out like that. But like to me, it's like, you know, I don't think I've ever heard of Fraggle Rock. And you selling it to me, yeah, it might be foreign. I don't know who Boogo, Bumbo, Jubo, whatever their name was, who they are. Boober. Yeah.
Boober?
Like, I don't know who the hell that person is, but I don't know. I just, if somebody pitches me something or something sounds good, it's no different than me jumping in and watching Fraggle Rock or the Muppets or whatever show. There's all going to be mythos between those. And that's the thing with anime. It's like Dragon Ball Z. If you use that as an example, you learning everything about Dragon Ball Z is not going to prepare you to understand what happens in Naruto. They're completely separate. They're completely different franchises. Things work at different. The rules of the world work different, and everything's not One Piece. There's not 1,000 episodes out there for every single anime. Like, to me, my number one favorite anime of all time is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It is 60 episodes. It is fantastic. It is tragic. It is action-packed. It deals with the deadly seven, or the 7 deadly sins, which is a concept obviously you probably know about. And it's about the rules of equivalent exchange.
Okay.
And a thing, alchemy, which is basically science, which I think is really cool. Like, not everything has to be like One Piece.
when you give me that, like, on the surface, I'm in. You know, I love this this diving into the 7 deadly sins and the mythos that kind of opens up. And I don't know.
well,
maybe,
you have a boot
maybe I
on
check
you,
that out, but
you can't travel. So,
Yeah.
are you sitting down and watching that, Kenny?
me, am I sitting down and watching? Like, I'd like to say maybe. I guess I just don't know what it is. I don't know if I have this, like, maybe I'm just shut off to the whole, like,
You have a negative perception of it.
I guess maybe.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you watch do you watch any animation stuff at all? English,
like
Japanese, anything?
cartoons, like cartoons.
Anything from this era, or is it all nostalgic stuff for you?
If we're counting like this era as like The Simpsons,
That's a unique example, though.
Yeah, that's
like
dated,
no,
but also
I mean,
still going.
But
Continuous.
the only like animation I watch in this era are like F is for Family, right? Big Mouth, Simpsons, South Park, Family Guy.
So crude humor animation.
Crude humor animation, adult oriented cartoons.
So I guess like you could start with something if you're interested in the Castlevania, where you're a big Castlevania fan of the games growing up.
Nintendo.
So there's an anime out there. Well, it's American made. It's on Netflix. It's 4 parts. The first season's 4 episodes, 20 minutes a piece.
Mm-hmm.
That could be like the stepping stone.
Yeah.
It's not. And we'll talk about one thing which I want to ask Justin about, which I think is the biggest deterrent and we'll get here that to a second. But like stepping into something like a nostalgic something from the past, you know, on the SNES, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Like there's that nostalgic factor of those characters. Now it's in almost like an anime film, presentation. Like everything that goes on is very anime, but it's American made. It's American producers and stuff like that. But like that could be a stepping stone.
I can't, like, honestly, deep down, I kind of hate that. That's where it's like, I don't give a shit if it's American made or it's made anywhere. You know, it's just like,
well, the only thing I'll say, for somebody that doesn't invest in anime, here's the thing I would say why I emphasize American made or Western cultured influenced. It's because in Japanese culture, there are some things. Have you ever heard of fan service?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very, very big, or concepts of a lolly. I don't know if you know what that is.
A wally?
A lolly?
A lolly.
Pretty much a love interest that looks like a little girl.
Okay.
Like a 14. Like things that could be a big deterrent for Americans.
Yeah.
And like lots of boobs, a lot of sex, a lot of like sexual natures, a lot of perversion. Sex. Like Master Roshi, you know, looking at boobs and his blood flies out of his nose. So like, to me, Justin, that would be the biggest thing. Would you agree that I think is the biggest deterrent for people that watch anime is fan service stuff or like different cultural things that happen. And I think that to me is the biggest thing where it gives a lot of negativity towards anime as a whole, because not everything is high school DxD. Yeah. And that's basically softcore porn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of cultural differences where people see it and they're like, and then they don't want to watch anything else.
I will tell you that I from an outsider's perspective, I have no, like, that didn't even cross my mind, you know, like that. I wasn't even thinking about those things. I was just thinking about like, you know, I grew up watching Superman cartoons. I like Superman. Okay. You know, I didn't grow up watching anime. So like that just, that's all it has nothing to do with like whatever is going on. It's just, it as David was saying, it, for me as well, it boils down to the nostalgia piece, and nostalgia is a son of a bitch. You know, it's like, it just there has to be something there, and not that I'm not open to like experiencing new things and watching new things. I'm very open-minded to the world. I mean, I travel. My fiance is from Brazil. You know, I am a worldly person. You know, I get around and see things and do things. I rob trucks from McFarland. No, I'm joking. But like it's not so much that, it's just that like there's just nothing to connect, and not. Maybe there is. Maybe I watch one of these and then I fall in love with it. You know, it's just a matter of taking the moment to actually sit down and commit that time. But as David was saying, we're David and I are in our 40s, right? Like we've spent decades, you know, understanding what we're into and what we like and going that route. You know, I think at some point I think I know what I'm into, you know.
So I mean, sorry, but
no, go ahead.
Like, I think so. I'm a bit of a stubborn person. In case nobody has realized this in 32 episodes that I've been on, but like part of me wants to put the responsibility on the IP to like do something to draw me into it. Whereas like I love superhero stuff. So like, but if I sense that a new property is an imitation or a version of something I already love, I need it to do the work to show me why it's different enough for me to love it. And so like when the TV show Heroes first came out, I got on board with that because I was like, oh, well, you know, like all the powers are kind of the same as what we've seen in comic books, but this is grounded in a real world idea. So what if there were real world heroes? So I got on board with that. There was a show called Alphas on the Sci-Fi Network, which was similar to that. It was like people that had particular abilities, and it was like the point of the series is like, how does the real world react when this elevated version of humans emerges? So like I can go get on board with certain ideas and concepts if it's presented to me in a way through advertising or word of mouth that makes it seem attractive for me to give it a shot. But at the same time, like I will stubbornly wait until it pulls me in. So like I have not watched The Boys. I haven't
really?
you know, like yeah.
Okay, David, you
or
lost
Invincible.
me there.
Like I haven't given a shot to Invincible. And part of
I was gonna recommend Invincible to you.
But
it's really good.
It hasn't grabbed me yet, like enough hasn't gotten me yet to give it a try. And so like when some on my Instagram story somebody asked me like what I'm watching, and right now like the things that I was watching, seasons have ended, so like it's just the soap operas right now actually. And so I was like, oh, you know, I might have to start a classic rewatch of something until a new season of something starts. And then a good friend of mine, Charles, said, or you could try something new like The Boys that I've been telling you about that you should get into. And it's like for me, I would, at the stage I'm at in my life, like it's more comforting to me to go and rewatch 7 seasons of something that I've seen before, because I know I will enjoy it, because it resonates with me and I love it, and I loved it when it first came out and I still love it and it's timeless, than for me to risk trying to get into something that is now 4 seasons in, because I need to like go to the beginning. Like I can't go into season 4 without knowing seasons 1 through 3. So then that factor is intimidating to me, to like, you know, maybe it gets really great in season 3, but I can't make it past season 1 to get there. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's the struggle that I'm in at 42 years old. It's like, I want for my time to know I'm going to be satisfied by where I spend my time and like where I immerse myself in content. Like I want to know I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm more reassured that I will enjoy something that I've already consumed than I am reassured that I will enjoy something like Dragon Ball Z that I've never touched. You know?
Right. Well, and also like the same time, like I would say with Dragon Ball Z, I wouldn't recommend it to a viewer today. I've got a nostalgic tie to it. If you go to watch it and never experienced before, I would recommend you reading it over watching it, because to give you an example for like an anime, it's 9 times out of 10, it's adapted from a manga. Mangas are usually so many chapters long. Chapters are like anywhere between an average of 10 pages, right? An average episode is 3 to 4 chapters per episode. That's how much content you usually get into there. Back in Dragon Ball Z days, you would have the whole episodes of them standing there talking in their head, like, oh, I'm going to punch this guy so hard. And then they'll go punch, and he's like, then they'll back up and talk for the rest of the episode, because they were trying to prolong it to, like, it is literally 26 volumes long. And the Dragon Ball Z as a whole is like 200 and something episodes. And they also like, they were getting caught up, so they didn't want to keep going. So they did like filler things that only happen in the anime, but on the story. And it just becomes very cumbersome, and the pacing is awful. Like it's trying to like watch One Piece today. Like if you go to watch One Piece, it's literally over 1,000 episodes. It's so slow that it's hard to really, unless you grew up with it or tried it, and really gravitate to it. It's hard.
That's the thing. If it got me early, I might be on board.
Right.
But
I wouldn't recommend that until
so do I want to
slog
through a cumbersome 1,000 episodes? You know?
But something like, you know, today's anime, like Jujutsu Kaisen, really good. Basically about sorcerers and killing demons. Demon Slayer is another one. It's really good. It's a demon slayer corpse, and they are trying to kill. Basically, think of it like Dracula. Basically, trying to kill Dracula. Once they kill Dracula, all vampires no longer exist, and that's the sense of Demon Slayer.
Let me ask you this. So, is most anime? Would you say most anime is grounded in like supernatural elements?
No, not all. No, not all. They're all over the place.
So for me, I'm not a supernatural person. Like I don't like a lot of vampire stuff. I don't like werewolf stuff. I grew up on soap operas, so I am drawn to the drama that can be mined from real life situations because real life is dramatic enough that I don't like to engage the different rules for different worlds of like these vampires can go out in the sun and they glitter or glisten. And these vampires can't, you know, like it took me a while to give True Blood a chance, but it was more of a, I don't know, like a farce or a
erotic fantasy
parody, almost
sex crazed vampires,
like and the werewolves and all that, you know, all of that. So like,
I would say no. So anime is separated in a lot of different genres. So an example, like I usually watch what is considered shonen. Shonen is basically boiled down to fighting anime that has power-ups. So more abilities, going from Super Saiyan to, like from Saiyan to Super Saiyan, like power-ups throughout the show. Think of it as like leveling up in a video game. That's the baseline for a shonen. Then there's, isekai. Isekai is taken from your world and put into another. So think of like Ready Player One. Taken from his world, put into another. That would be considered an isekai. And that's just 2 of like 20 different genres of anime. And then inside of a shonen, you've got Demon Slayer, which is based on like demons. Then you've got Dragon Ball, which is mainly about channeling your chi and martial arts. Then you've got, you got Death Note, which is basically about a kid that finds a book that falls from the sky called the Death Note. And if he writes somebody's name in it, they die.
Jeez.
But doing that changes his mentality to become he's the main character, turns him into the villain. But he's haunted by a death Shimigami, which is basically an angel of death. And it's very psychological. Because there's a guy on the other side named L that is trying to catch him and figure out who this Kira is. And his name. So like, it's really like it's just so vast that not every one thing is the same thing. Not everything is supernatural. Not everything is, there's one called My Hero Academia. It's about superheroes. Like 98% of the world has quirks, and that's what they call their superheroes or superpowers. And like, it's about kids that go to school to train to get and then this world, like becoming a superhero is a job. So they got to get their license. They have to be a license and sign with an agency to become a active superhero in the world. They can't be Batmans. It's just like, there's just different vast majority of things out there that it can be like, I want to get into anime. You don't know where to start unless you have recommendations. Like Full Metal Alchemist that I talked about, it's about alchemy, it's about magic, the rule of equivalent exchange, money, like this much money gets me this figure, equivalent exchange. If I want to make a spear out of concrete, it's going to take this much concrete to make one spear. That kind of concept. So it's just, I guess I look at it as like, it's just another form of entertainment. Like, and that's why I think I connect so well with Marvel, because it is that real life, like breaking the veil, but it's still grounded. That's why I connect with Marvel more than DC. DC, I can't go to Gotham. I can't go to Metropolis.
Well,
I can go to New York City.
You could go to Brooklyn. That's kind of close.
Brooklyn. Shout out to GMM. I love that. I love that show too. So, but that's, and I get that concept. And that's why, like, whenever I watch in anime, I like more darker stuff. I like more, like, Berserk is really, really cool. I'm starting to read that. That's these black, shiny volumes there over here. It's about hell and about demons and about a guy that's really messed up. The opening panel is him fucking a demon. So yeah, it's pretty graphic. But like that's the thing. Like I see it as a form of entertainment because I watch Invincible. That is a comic book written by Robert Kirkman, the same guy that did Walking Dead. You know, I've watched The Boys, which there's not a bad season of The Boys. I'm just telling you right now. It's really violent. It can get very sexual sometimes, but there's not a bad season. It's just so good. I don't know. I just look at it like that. It's just if there's something that interests you or you hear rumblings about it, and then if you get into other ones, there is the biggest deterrent that I've stopped watching anime because one of the side characters' main things is he's in love with his little sister.
Yeah,
things that just don't translate here, and I have sometimes that have power. Like I have like lines. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that.
No.
So, but it's just the culture difference.
If you do have time, like Kenny, like you said, just nothing's caught your interest, but you're in a boot, like David said, you can't really get out right now. So if you do find yourself, there is a movie on Netflix, which is a lot shorter.
Is it called Kubo and the Two Strings?
It's actually called Kubo and the Two Strings.
Wow.
You would probably
Why have you never mentioned this before, Justin?
Okay, I just now thought of it. I thought I'd bring it up. But guys,
I will make sure to
I recommend it.
Look at it. I'll
highly recommend
pass
it.
over the recommendation. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just like in David's meme here. Just like in David's meme here. Wish I could read it and burn it.
Is that your favorite movie all the time?
It sounds like it is.
Yeah. It's right up there though. I love it.
Is it really?
It must be.
It's a trope that nobody's seen it. Nobody's seen it, and I
four
love
people. We've established four people have seen it that we can confirm.
Confirmed 4 watches.
If we can just get all of the Justified channel members to at least watch it,
then there'll be like
maybe
15 people.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a members only Kubo and the Two Strings watch party.
Live reaction.
Live reaction.
Yeah,
Kubo
yeah. We
situation.
You know what? We need to do that one day. It's on Netflix. So
Justin, if I have a quick question for you, not to cut you off. If you were to recommend these two guys an anime or two, what would you recommend them?
What man?
Kubo and the Two Strings.
Kubo, and Kubo and the Two Strings does not count.
Let me think.
Oh shit!
I mean, you can think about it. You can do what you're about to say and just think about that question. I just figured.
Gosh,
because I can't recommend anything to these guys just because I don't know them. Like I don't know what they're into. I don't know what they like and stuff.
I don't know these guys either.
So
I'll say, okay, so I talked about this one for the past couple weeks. I think it's fun and it's not too long, and you don't need to watch any of the previous animes in the same universe. I do think, and it comes from like the 90s, so I do think / mid 2000s. Zoid's New Century is a good one. That's fun because. And the story isn't too deep. It's about they pilot these mechs. There's history there of why the mechs exist, but it's all about like a tournament setting. They travel, they have tournaments, they fight mech on mech. And that's pretty much the whole story. It goes into a little deeper near the end and the climax. There's a little story there, but it's just a fun watch that isn't too long. And it's just cool, big animal type mechs just tearing into each other and fighting. So I'd say that's a good one to kind of open the door, because I don't want to say I love Gundam Wing, but I think it probably didn't age too well, and it's a lot of political drama. It's political drama in it too. So that's kind of
Gundam Wing's really good. It is literally do not look away from the TV because they will say something or mention something, and if you miss it, you are screwed. It is so convoluted.
And Dragon Ball Z, I can't recommend it if you didn't grow up with it. It's I love it, but there's a lot of filler in there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
upcoming
century.
Yeah. Upcoming, if pirates and pirates interest you, if you've ever heard anything about One Piece, Wit Studio is reanimating it. They're starting over. It's going to be on Netflix. Wit Studio is really, really good. They were the ones that did the first couple seasons of Attack on Titan. So that'd be episodic. Try that.
Okay.
Don't watch the live action. It's not very good.
Also, if you don't have as much time to watch like a bunch of episodes, I do want to recommend a lesser known movie called Kubo and the Two Strings. So I would recommend it. It's on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
People,
No, never
people are
heard.
talking.
But guys, we are up over the 2 hour mark. I do think we're gonna close this poll. If you haven't voted in the poll, go vote in the poll right now.
Come on, somebody else vote. It's like so close.
I don't know why I could have swore I typed should there, but who should read out the justified member list? Kenny, David, or Justin?
I said somebody else vote, and it went up in my direct. That's not the way I was asking for the
you
vote.
didn't say vote for who, Kenny.
That's
So
true.
we're at 19 votes.
My bad. Vote for
I'm
David.
gonna close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Poll closed.
Here we go.
Kenny.
Here we go again.
Kenny, you won. You
Hey.
won.
Yay.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Kenny.
Speech.
How
Don't worry. I hope that you guys have tuned in for 2.5 hours. That you're here for another 45 minutes.
So while Kenny starts this, I am going to go get a drink.
Me too.
So where's the option for no one reads it? Nowhere, Cardbrook. It's nowhere. And Gabriel says
Sprocket
Kai is a good way. Yeah, to get out of the filler. Yeah, it's shorter, but it's still a lot of episodes.
It's still yeah.
If you're gonna watch Dragon Ball Z Kai is the way to go. I grew up in the 90s, so I kind of don't like Kai. I much prefer the older,
I feel like you're missing stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing stuff.
But also I wonder with Wit Studio redoing One Piece if they're not going to get spark, because like if we make Dragon Ball Z like this,
One Piece, I gotta get ready for this.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Okay. But maybe they'll reanimate Dragon Ball at that point. Kai, I don't mind Kai, but I do feel like to me to watching Kai, I would equivalent that to watching the theatrical cuts of Lord of the Rings. I would almost like if I watch the theatrical cut, I'm like, I missed that scene that was an extended cut. I can't do this. I got to go back and watch the extended. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, you got to have those 7 different endings at the end too. So
it never ends. I think I want watch that in the theater. I think I got up like 10 times. Oh, I went to black. Keep going.
David, you've watched Lord of the Rings, right?
No, I've seen.
I went. Have you watched? What have you watched?
I went to the movies to see one of those movies with my friend Charles that I mentioned earlier and a bunch of other friends. And legit, there was like 7 points where I thought that the movie was over.
It was Return of the King.
Did you only go watch Return of the King?
Was that the one?
Return of the King, it fades to black and then comes back, fades to black and comes back towards the end. That is literally the ending.
There was a boat that was going off into the sunset at one point, and then it was like, it was like, I had to go to the bathroom. Like, it was terrible.
Well, they're really long. They're like 4 hours long.
David, you didn't watch Fellowship of the Ring or The Two Towers.
I doubt it.
You only went and watched Return of the King. What the hell?
Also,
you didn't know what was going on.
When I worked at the movie theater, why does this always come back to when I worked at the movie theater? I literally worked at the movie theater for every movie that we talked about. And I only worked there for like 3 years in high school. So
those 3 years, that's when everything came out.
Very important 3 years.
That's when everything came out, Kenny.
So many things. Honestly, like too many things came out. And Shrek was the worst of them all. So
oh no.
The first Shrek movie?
Oh yeah. So like everybody's been posting all these videos about like a Minecraft movie where all like everybody's just freaking out, throwing popcorn everywhere.
Oh my god. Yeah.
As somebody who worked in a movie theater and cleaned movie theaters, that is a complete nightmare to me. And I feel so bad for anyone who is working in movie theaters right now. The worst movie I ever had to clean was Shrek, and that was a total fucking nightmare. So I can only imagine And look, I have plenty of nightmares. I have plenty of stories of things that happen in movie theaters and movies, and I've seen some things in movies, but yeah, Shrek was a popcorn nightmare. Other movies were, interesting for other reasons, but Shrek was a popcorn nightmare, and yeah, I can only imagine how Minecraft
Yeah,
is
that
going.
whole chicken jockey concept of them throwing
Yeah,
stuff at the
yeah.
screen, and
Yeah.
that's why we waited until this weekend to go see it, take my kids to it, because I was like, I will not be a part of that. I'll probably
Nope.
come out slapping kids.
Kenny, that is a
Wait.
perfect segue.
It
Speaking of
is.
nightmares,
Hey,
we're about to have
speaking of
the
nightmares,
most
my
nightmares
own
readout.
personal nightmare is reading off these beautiful folks.
So Snook, I used to do both readouts, and then I started kind of rotating, and then 1 week we randomly decided to let Kenny do it, and he had to get up and go get a drink, but we had already decided he was doing it, so we just sat here in silence and waited for him to get back, and then he punished us with a really long readout. Then ever since then, we've had a vote in the chat on who they wanted to do the readout, and Kenny's won every time. So
There you
Kenny,
go.
this is your reward, my friend.
This is democracy. This is democracy in action.
Yeah, this is what happens.
Now I understand why Trump won, because people hate democracy. So there were 5 people who were gifted memberships, right?
Yeah. So let's see.
Can we because I want to do this differently. I want to go from like the back to the front.
Okay.
Right, that was a weird way
I've
to
enjoyed
say
that too.
Yeah.
In the past. Yeah.
So
At least you
I don't
asked
know
first, I guess.
I don't know if you can see who it was, Kenny, but it was Kevin Beatty, VIP Princess Productions, Arvin, Yves, Yves.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Kyle,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
Kyle's back.
All right,
Kyle
now,
in.
okay, yep, I have it right here. All right. So let's go. All right. Oh, okay. So we'll start from those 5, and then we'll go from the back end of the Justified, and then we'll finish with Agent Z-Man.
Hit it from the back, Kenny. Hit it from the back.
Hit it from the back. Here we go. All right, Kyle M, you're back against your better judgment. I'm still curious if you are one of my actual best friends, Kyle M. I don't think you are, but if you are, that would be cool. Yes. All right, we'll move on from there. Arvin Shah. Thank you, Arvin Shah, for being here. VIP Princess Productions. That sounds sensual. And it could be. And it might not be. No one knows. But it is VIP Princess Productions, so I don't know. But welcome. And also Kevin Beatty, who has been here before and again returned. Now we move on to the original Justified, who I've never referred to as lesser than. I've always referred to this group of people as my priority. My best friends, actually, all of these people.
Lies.
They sit at the top of what I would refer to as the collecting Mount Rushmore. Okay. So these are the best people in action figure collecting. Lorenz, the Blackter. You know
Jesus
him.
Christ,
We should have Lorenz.
list.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'm telling you. Every week I'm gonna make this more unbearable than the previous week until people stop voting for me to do this. But maybe that's counterproductive, because if I keep doing this, then people will just want to see the shit show and the train that derails. I don't know. I don't know what you people want. I don't know why you want this. Anyway, RG was out in Jersey today because they had a big con out in Jersey. I wish I was there. But I wasn't, because, I'm here. So there you go. All right. Burgos, LJ. Lyndon Johnson. That's probably doesn't stand for that, but Burgos, what's up? Collect and Rush. Rush is doing big things out on Instagram. Also, he's identified several people who are trying to steal his thing on TikTok. So if you're trying to steal Rush's thing, don't do it, because we'll come for you, because we're the Justified. All right. That means something. Shane Shooter.
I'm gonna still
What?
rush this thing.
You're still Rush's thing? That's
I'm gonna
cool
still
too.
rush.
You're gonna steal Rush's thing. Okay, now I get it. All right. Shane Shooter. Shooting the shit with Shane Shooter. We should do that. That should be an episode, actually.
Shooting the shit.
Shane
with-
Shooter, him and I are friends on Instagram as well. So, could be an episode. Chi collects. What else can I say about Chi?
Jesus.
I don't want to go into I know every week I bring up hepatitis C. It's fine. It's not about you, Chi collects. It's more about the restaurant. And I miss it because I have such a deep fondness for Chi-Chi's. They had a fried ice cream that was delicious, quite remarkable, honestly. If you ever had it, then you would know. And if you haven't, apparently they're coming back in 2026. So you're welcome. All right. Jay's Toy Collection UK. Jay is not happy about the distribution that NECA has for our UK allies, or Europeans for that matter, but specifically the UK, because the UK, they like Europe because they're like right there, but it's like a different thing if you're being specific. Anyway, Jay likes it, but he doesn't like the distribution. He didn't get PandaCon, or maybe he did. I haven't watched the video yet, Jay, but I will. All right. I'll figure it out. I'll get to the bottom of this. Mikey Moonboots.
Not Miley.
Mikey's not Miley. Mikey's been doing some cool things. He posted a video. Did you guys see the clip he posted earlier on Instagram? It was like Spider-Woman, and she's like walking all down. It was cool. You guys should check it out. Instagram, Mikey Moonboots. STM Figures. STM Figures. We haven't seen you in here. You should stop by every once in a while.
Yeah,
We
he's
know
around.
you're a member. We know you're around, but just stop by. Come on over. Come on over. Come. You know the song. All right. Jared Byrne. Jared Byrne. Right? We got it right?
Yeah.
Got
Finally.
it. Okay.
Only took like a month.
Earlier today, Super Turk confirmed that he was not being held hostage along with Alexi. And he also confirmed that he is actually holding Alexi in his basement. I don't know how I feel about this. I thought that they were like together and they were like in cahoots, but now it seems like Alexi was trapped. So just let Alexi out, because we'd like him back. We like Alexi over here. We want him back. All right? Just let him go. Jesse Hubbard, I told you last week that I wouldn't refer to your mother being in a cupboard, and here I am doing that again. So life is gonna life, you know what I mean? Anyway. All right, bring toys to work, Michael. We love you. You should be on this show. We should bring Michael on here one time. That would be fun.
We'll have to have a Mythic Legions episode or
Yeah,
something.
we should do that. Oh, I would like that.
Wow.
We'll wait until the dragon ships. We'll wait until that.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, a big dragon reveal. It'd be tight.
Ooh.
Speaking of Alexi, your boy's got toys. He's right there, but he's not here. Okay. Last week I had a mini breakdown because he wasn't here. I'm not going to do that again. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. All right. Cole's Cave. Cole, who is typically up at this hour for whatever reason. All right. I'd rather listen to Dan, who say it's all about having a physical reputation in world building.
I'm voting for Cardback next time to read the.
Right.
I would.
yeah.
I honestly, I would love. I would love for anything else other. But you know what? Next week I'm gonna prepare something special. All right.
Ooh.
But then
I
Alexi will be
voted to
back,
vote for you
and everyone's
to-
going to vote for Alexi. So
I know that's the plan. I'm actually not going to prepare for anything, and it's going to be this whole hour-long reading of these names. Anyway, where were we? Kurt K. Kurt stopped by earlier today. He had some words of wisdom. We started talking about Star Wars, and then he left because
he hated our lack of knowledge.
he hated our lack of knowledge.
Also, we talked about Star Wars for probably about 30 to 45 solid minutes, and Andrew wasn't here.
It felt like 2 hours.
Our Star Wars guy always misses any Star Wars talk.
He basically that's you know what? You're on to something. I just get a correct pronunciation of names. So sorry. Well, I did say it 3 times. But
Like
Gerard,
Beetlejuice.
okay, all right, let's go
And he
back.
appeared.
Gerard Byrne, you are burning in my heart.
Some amazing GI Joe
It's
classified
not
displays.
good, I'm
Go check
sorry.
out.
I'll figure
Jared
something
on
out.
Instagram.
Jared, give me something to work with. We'll figure it out. Maybe next week it'll be 4 times. Anyway, where were we? Displayed once.
Kurt, I think was the last one you were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did Kurt. Now we're
Oh,
on.
you know what? You lost your spot. Just start over, Kenny.
Oh God.
Oh, okay. Lorenz, the Blackter, RG. No, okay.
No,
all right.
no.
Oh, no.
Guys, we haven't even got to the justified MVPs yet.
Oh.
Come on. We're only on Rich M, who you can see every Thursday with Dan Who talking Marvel Legends stuff. Rich did get the gene, and he did confirm that the boots are not there.
Sorry, David.
So
Confirmed. Yeah.
sorry, David.
Yep.
Everyone's favorite, Christopher Allen, was here tonight. Popped in on my Thursday stream. Gotta love Christopher Allen. Oh, there he was right there. Look at that.
Yep.
Boom. On cue. That's why he's everyone's favorite. He just pops in whenever you need him. Dan Who Reviews. I've heard of this channel. I've never watched it. We've lost probably 7 viewers in the last 3 minutes. I'm watching the count go down. I don't think people are digging this anymore. All right. Sorry, Dan. Anyway, people thought this was funny 4 weeks ago. They still keep voting for it for whatever reason. I don't know.
See,
anyway,
they're conditioned to really long outplayed bits on this channel.
I think it's more about getting your hours in, right? That's what it is. We're just trying to keep this stream. If we hit
So it's
3
quantity
hours,
quality here.
yeah. So we have what 18 more minutes to go. So I have to make the justified MVP go 18 minutes. All right. So
Jesus Christ.
all right, here we
We
go.
have to think about poor Snook, who has to like endure this. Like,
So you can leave at any time.
oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
it's fine.
Poor Snook.
Like I said, nobody, I didn't ask for this. Moving on to the justified MVP, people who are thinking that they're better than everyone else, right? Is that what
Starting
it is?
with encountered culture.
Starting with me. All right. That's where we're going. All right. No, I'm here, and I probably shouldn't be. Anyway, St. James, the patron saint of collecting, good friend of the channel. Michael Davis. I like that people use their names, and I'll get to David, Evan, and Smith, but I like that people use their names, but like, unless I know them, I don't really have anything else to go with, you know? Jared Byrne, sorry. Michael Davis. Guys, give me something. That's all I'm asking for. Like, put a little thing in the middle or something. I don't know. And then it'll make it fun. Moving on to other people who use their names, David, Evan, and Smith, 3 of my best friends. who are here every week and have been here every week. Okay. I hit 20 episodes today, but I'm an amateur. Okay.
I don't know. David missed those first 3. So
Thank God.
Yeah, that's fair. Those were trial episodes. Okay.
they were.
I joined
Episode
in episode 4,
4.
so like I didn't miss those 3.
Yeah. Episode 4.
I wasn't invited until number 4.
Episode 4 was the real episode 1. Okay. Just saying. John Morrissey knows that because he already told me I'll pull it up right now. I have it here. Okay. He said, Kenny, you are my best friend. Justin is whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. He just says all this stuff. Honestly, I don't want to get into it, but John Morrissey, you know where to find me. John, speaking of John, compulsive collector, who 100% enjoyed every minute of this entire episode. Honestly, he's going to go back tomorrow. He's going to watch it again and probably on Wednesday do a 3rd round because
he's probably going to unsubscribe.
He might.
Can you unsubscribe?
He will definitely unsubscribe. The sun has risen here in Ireland since I don't doubt that. I apologize. But hey, the sun has risen in Ireland. There we go. I like it. Legion X, Rick. Rick has been here all night. Thank you.
Sorry,
Rick.
Rick.
We're so sorry, Rick.
We're sorry. Every week I feel like I have to apologize to Rick, and Rick's been on the show a few times, so that tells you everything you need to know. And now we get to wrap it up. Wait, hold on.
Woo!
No, we still have 15 minutes to go until the 3 hour mark. So,
it's all right. The last 15 minutes will be on the after show, guys.
Let me tell you a 15-minute story about Agent Z-Man. Now, all right, Agent Z-Man, he's the first person to decide to join this Justified MVP. And again, I honestly, I implore everyone out there, please do not make me do this next week, or do. I don't know. I guess against my own judgment, I'm happy to do this. It only gets worse every week. So next week should
it only gets worse.
Interesting. Yeah,
it only gets worse.
It gets worse every week. Yeah.
So practice doesn't make perfect.
No, at this point, it's just how many weeks in a row will the audience just choose to do this to themselves?
They hate themselves.
Next week, if you get chosen, do it like reading like all the side effects for a medication. Do it that way.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Perfect. So, guys, as always, you can follow everyone here on screen, down in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to Kenny's YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram. Follow David on Instagram. Snook's YouTube channel is down below. He's also on Instagram. I have to get your Instagram link down there.
Collecting
as well,
Snook.
Collecting Snook. It's flipped. It's flip-flopped. Flip-flop. 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 The Office and the dinner party episode.
It's been a long time.
Snap. Oh, come on.
I just thought you were drunk.
Oh, well, anyway, guys. No, not yet. We're getting there. So everybody, I appreciate it. Snook, thank you so much for coming on. I hope everybody had fun. Compulsive Collector, I know you made it to the end here. Thank you, John, for being such a loyal viewer. Thank you, all the Justified channel members. Thank you, everybody here live, everybody watching on the replay. We will see you next week. And,
that's all I have to say about that.
Good night, everybody.